Hey everyone, we're here this Saturday to commentate the third week of the Speed Chess Championship Grand Prix. Gonna be a big event. We're gonna see 10 rounds of massive action here. I'm here with Grandmaster Benjamin Buck. How are you doing, Benjamin?
I'm doing well, thank you, Creeker. It's my pleasure to join you here today and to be hosting this event together with you. What is the event we're looking at today?
Yeah, so we're looking at 10 rounds of 3+1. We already have many strong players taking part. We have 4 weeks of this event. This is the third week. And the winner of this 4-week event automatically qualifies to the Speed Chess Championship, which is, of course, the biggest event that we'll see online here nowadays. And we have a points format that we're going to talk about here. So we have 15 points for the winner of each week. We have 12 and then 8 points for third, fourth place. So everyone at the top 20 end up scoring and could be very important to the final standings. And we have massive prizes. What do you think about those prizes, Ben?
Chess.com put up a pretty nice prize fund, and as probably most GMs know, Hikaru is not playing today because he's playing in the Meltwater chess tour. So yeah, that first prize up for grabs. So I'm sure a lot of GMs will be looking to win that one. And there's also an additional prize to whoever wins the knockout format, the knockout after the Swiss. And apart from that, there's also a prize for top Fielman and top streamer.
Yeah, and we're talking about a $2,500 first place, then 1,800, and then of course the K winner gets an extra 1,000. So it's a big event. It is kind of similar to a Title Tuesday, but with much bigger prizes. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing some big names taking part today. And we can see already the standings here. The top players, we have Jeffrey Xiong with a pretty comfortable lead, I'd say 27 points, because I think he got second place in the first week and then 15 points in the second. That's not a bad start because he could have scored like 30 points maximum. He has 27 already.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I wonder who's going to catch him. He has a 12-point lead over Kasper Drozdowski. I think, yeah, Kasper definitely still has a chance, but maybe someone like Andraken, if he could win today, get those 15 points, then he gets closer to Jeffrey. But if Jeffrey gets like second or first today, I think he is almost guaranteed to qualify to the Speed Chess Championship. So yeah, I'm sure Jeffrey will be looking to keep up his good run.
Definitely. Have you played against him quite a lot with Jeffrey Blitz? Or
I haven't played him a lot at all. I feel like he's not someone who plays casually on Chess.com. But he comes out for the big tournaments, Title Tuesday, Speed Chess Championship. So yeah, and as we're talking, Jeffrey just joined the players. So
yeah, he's very experienced in these big events, and a big event that we're gonna see happen in 2 days, the semifinals of the Junior Speed Chess Championship that Jeffrey already played, I think, a couple of times. But we'll see the semifinals between Nihal Sarin and Haik Marderosyan this Monday, October 4 at 6 a.m. Pacific. We have 4 players left in this big event. I mean, this is the Junior Speed Chess Championship, but these players are like battling with the best players in the world, apart from being under 20. So these are 2 of the best Blitz players we see online. So don't forget to watch this event in 2 days from now. So I think we're gonna have a short break now before we jump into the action. We have many strong players in. As soon as we get back, we'll talk about who's there, if Jeffrey is playing today or not. Of course, we talked about him. He's the big favorite for now. Of course, there are 2 weeks to go, but he had a very good start so far. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes to start this week 3 of the Speed Chess Championship Grand Prix in a few minutes. Okay, so welcome everyone. We are here 30 seconds before the start of the third week of the Speed Chess Grand Prix with some big names here. We have Alexander Bortnik, the highest rated player today. We also have Dmitry Andrakin, number 2. We have Jeffrey Xiong, the man that is leading so far this event. We have many strong players. Let us see, we have Badur Jabava there, the number 9 here in the list. We have 2 very strong Peruvian players also there, 10 and 11. I mean, we'll see some really nice chess, and we see all these players are in the 2,900, 3,000 mark. So, and we have the games already going. Let's see what's happening in Bortnik's game. Have you played him quite a lot in Blitz?
Yeah, so yeah, Bortnik is definitely one of the strongest online chess players. I actually played him this last Wednesday in Arena Kings, where I lost him in the semifinals. So
right,
yeah, I feel yeah, and yeah, Bortnik is a very strong player. The only thing I would say is that he's extremely fast, so that makes him especially strong in the time controls without increment, but still, I'm sure that he can. He's still very strong in 3+1. So yeah, let's see how he will do today.
Yeah, have you seen this move? I mean, they played this Dutch opening and then this Dutch defense, and then his opponent played e4 in the third move. Have you seen this gambit?
No, it's actually pretty funny. Like black plays d5 and move 2 to really stop e4, and white plays it. White plays it anyway.
Exactly.
So yeah, interesting gambit, and we'll see how this game is gonna unfold.
We'll see. Yeah, I've noticed Bortnik, as you said, he's one of the biggest specialists in bullet, definitely. So he many times he doesn't mind like being short on time. So I've seen him like spend quite a lot of time during middle games sometimes, because he doesn't worry. He's not worried about getting into a time scramble with 5 seconds on the clock. Let's see how he does here. So
yeah, I feel like especially like I said, without the increment, you should not try to get into a time scramble with Bortnik, because you'll probably just get flagged.
yes.
But of course, if he gets low on the clock and his opponent has the time, as the saying goes, there are no heroes in time pressure.
Definitely.
So we'll see how he will do in this game. I think
white. It's not easy to develop, right?
Yeah, because if you play e6, then your knight is pinned to your queen, so then white can just capture the pawn on e4. So I would prefer white in this position, to be honest. It looks easier to play. What do you think about this?
Definitely, yes. I mean, it's not easy to imagine where is this king going, because many times we'll think, I mean, where am I going to castle? Like, it's not easy to imagine how is he going to castle king side, and the same happens to the other side. So probably just castle g4. Okay, maybe a little bit too much, but okay.
Maybe bishop
f7.
He goes bishop f7. Okay, so he doesn't want to castle at all. But I think this looks great for white if you just castle now. Yeah. Oh, and take on fun fact, I see that this line is actually called the Netherlands variation.
Oh, so right. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Or probably because it comes from the Dutch. Yeah.
Yeah, but you should have known that. You should know that. You should have known that one.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, once again, I think white is a great position. Black has a really tough time developing. If you go e6, white just captures on e4. He goes queen d6.
Yeah, the engine is saying white is just winning here. Maybe just take a knight e4, or and then knight g3, maybe depending.
I'd say at some point you have to get the pawn back, but I think queen e3 is a good move as well.
Wow, that's a very calm move, queen e3. I like it. Not an easy move to make, I'd say.
Exactly. So knight before play by Bortnik. You could take an e4 now if you want to, or take an f6 first. Both look good for white. So maybe we could see one of the favorites of this tournament already getting in trouble in the very first round.
He's definitely in trouble. Let's see if he can swindle this game. It's not easy because white doesn't have a single problem here. I mean, his king is a little bit open, but black doesn't have any pieces to attack him. Materials equal now, 6 pawns each, and black has so many problems, development problems. The structure is weak. If you take here, I just win a tempo there and the rook. Knight d5, the engine is going crazy here. Maybe just queen f3.
Yeah, queen f3 looks like a good move because if black takes on e4, there's queen f7 checkmate. But what I would
Right.
say is what makes these events like this one Untitled Tuesday so tough is that his opponent is the IM. He's rated 2600 on Chess.com, so he's not playing a patzer in the first round, and
Exactly.
and I would say in a usual 3-0 game, he could probably flag him here, but that's not really an option here, right? So that's what makes these events so tough.
We see so many upsets. Exactly. We see so many upsets. Knight
Yeah.
c5 maybe now. Hitting
Yeah, maybe
there,
knight
hitting
c5
there.
to try to hop into e6. Yep, nice move. So
Okay.
he trades and
Engine is not in love with
okay,
this. Oh, e5.
e5.
Wow.
Okay, white just
Oh.
takes it.
Yeah, I didn't
I
see it could just take. Well, 96 was so annoying that he just had to give the pawn. I mean, it was a practical choice,
yeah,
but now he's just lost, completely lost. He
it
has a
just
pawn
looks lost.
down.
Yeah, the knight on f6 is coming under massive pressure because white is the bishop, the queen and the rook looking at it. White can slide the rook over with rook f5, putting more pressure. And 94 was coming, so Bornik decided to chop off that knight. White recaptured.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I would
black should.
say the best he could get out of this game is a draw, because white can trade any moment on f6 and go into a rook in game, which is what he just did.
I think he can
So
just
yeah,
take it. There's an attack also against his king, right? If you take, there's just rook
exactly.
g5
Yeah,
coming.
I
Oh,
would just
this
take
is
twice, and rook g5 is
g5.
coming. Yeah.
Okay, this
Okay,
is
he
fine too.
recaptures with the pawn. So maybe what you can do now is someone like rook g5, king h7, rook h5, trade the rooks. Decides to take on c7 instead, which also looks good.
A little bit
Bortnik is
surprising,
down.
but
Oh, sorry.
okay. I
Um,
think it's maybe one of the best positions he had in this game
mhm.
so far. Probably right.
Yeah, he's down 2 pawns. White can grab a third one, but he decides not to. Uh,
Yes, a6 is
but
hanging.
yeah, I think Bornik should be very happy to get away with a draw here. So let's see what's gonna happen.
Maybe rook.
Goes
Oh, rook
a5.
7 responders. Rook c5 maybe. Rook c6.
Mhm.
Mysterious. He wants to exchange. Of course, you won't allow it. Rook
Yeah, but
e6.
what I would say is that we talked about the fact that players cannot really flag, right? But actually they can, because 1 second is not a lot.
Yes.
And black is rook g4 now, taking that pawn on d4. So maybe he will get away with a draw. Yeah,
Yes,
he
only a
gets a
pawn
pawn,
down is not even
only
lost
1 pawn
anymore.
now.
Okay, there's a
Yeah.
draw for white. Maybe he'll just take the draw after all this mess. White's just Yair
Okay,
Parkov.
he's giving a couple checks, but I feel like he
Okay,
should go for the win, and he does so. But the thing is,
seven.
it looks really nice with 2 rooks on a 7 rank, but it's actually hard to create threats because black
Mhm.
just slides the king over and
Check, go back, go back.
back.
Maybe now he settles for a draw. No, he
But
doesn't.
you go king back.
Rook
So
c7 maybe?
let's rook
Still
c7.
trying. It's not a
It
threat
still
actually.
looks tricky for Bortnik because you can always get checkmated with your king over there. You could also get into a lost rooking game somehow.
You can
And
exchange
white can
rooks
always,
now, but it's not. You can
yeah,
exchange rooks now with rook h8, but this is not winning at all. Right? Rook
yeah,
c4,
rook c4, yeah,
king f6. Probably king e1 was
king
better.
e5.
Probably there was no time.
Yeah, he probably should have tried to do this, but rook a3 is a draw.
Okay, now it's a draw.
And yeah,
Tough life
so
here
yeah,
for Bortnik, but he escapes with a draw.
yeah.
Maybe okay. Nothing is really happening anymore here in
And
this game.
maybe it's gonna, nah, it's just gonna be a draw.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I would say in Title Tuesday, usually a draw in the first round is pretty catastrophic because you need to put up a huge score.
Hmm.
But in this tournament, since the players are mostly looking at trying to qualify to the top 8 qualify to the knockout,
Hmm.
draw is not the end of the world. He can still easily come back. I feel like a score like 7.5 out of 10 is probably enough to qualify. So,
Right. Wow,
and
look at this
Jeff.
position.
Mhm.
And Black was winning. Jaspem
So
Martinez
let's have a
was
look.
winning there. Wow.
So let's
White
see.
flagged.
And oh,
But he was
damn.
winning already. Black was winning. There was no way to stop a2.
Yeah, those
Wow.
pawns were just too much.
Yeah. We still have one game
So I
going?
see there's one game going on, but it's gonna finish pretty shortly.
Yeah, it's just just finished. So we'll go to the second round now. We'll probably see some tougher games. We already saw some very big fights there in the first round. And of course, now the second is even more difficult. We have 175 players taking part. And we have the second round already. We have Vugar Razulovic, who's a very strong blitz player from Azerbaijan, playing Dmitry Draken, board one. Let's take a look at this game.
All right.
So they see this Slav variation, Queen C2, E4, probably there's some big theory here, right? This is B3 sacrifice.
Yeah, this is a known sacrifice. Yeah, white sacrifice a pawn, but in return he gets a big center. But I think if you're in Draken, you're not too unhappy, because I guess he's one of the players looking to, win the Swiss, maybe get that first prize of $2,500.
Yes.
So if you play the Slav, then one of the things you might be worried about is the exchange Slav. And here he's a pawn up, so I would be pretty happy with the outcome of the opening with black. A move like knight e6 looks very nice. And
knight b4 now is a big threat, exactly, getting the bishop. Yeah, this is very interesting position, double-edged already. But I mean, this is the second round. We're seeing a 2,800 player in the first board already against Draken. So, and we'll have like 10 rounds today. So we'll be seeing some what's happening here? He wants to take on f6.
Knight b4, pawn takes f6.
He wants to do the magnet sacrifice. The magnet sacrifice.
Maybe you can sacrifice your queen because you get 3 pieces. Yeah, he goes for it. I think it's a good practical decision. Otherwise, he was just going to be down a pawn. Yeah, I like this from white. He's going to capture the knight now. And I guess next move, he's going to be looking at knight e4 to c5.
Probably he's going to play c5, right? Not.
Yeah, I feel like c5 is a good move from black, opening up that bishop. And if you capture the knight, maybe take on f3 and ruin white's pawn structure around his king.
And dc is a little bit weird in a way, but it's possible actually. dc could have knight d6 coming. Bishop e3 is also there, holding onto the pawn. The engine likes black quite a lot. a4, wow.
White could go b4 now and really cement that pawn on c5.
Yeah, I don't like, black's position now.
Yeah, I feel like Razulov has done a good job of complicating the game. Like we said, it looked like he was just down a pawn, but maybe white's for choice now. It looks very easy to play with the 3 pieces against the queen. So yeah, I'll definitely take white here. What is your take?
And he'll sacrifice definitely with d6 and d6, right? Maybe not. Maybe he could take an f3 first. Bishop f4. He wants to
maybe plant the bishop on d6.
Yeah, this is very annoying. These pieces are playing so well together. Draken's play is a little bit surprising in this game. He played a4 so quickly there. He was confident with this pawn move, and he's behind on the clock also. Probably queen e8 has to be played now.
Yeah, but I feel like that pawn on a3 is not really going anywhere. I mean,
not at all.
It's just nicely stopped by the white pieces. And yeah, I wonder how Draken is going to try to create any sort of play here. Because white's play looks pretty easy. You can maybe go like knight d4, knight c3, put pressure on the pawn on b5.
You have to be just watching the sacrifices, rook d6 or something, but for now they're well controlled. So you have a clear plan with h3 also, just making room for your king.
h3 is always a good move. Make sure you never get back rank checkmated. You never know, even when you're a grandmaster.
Yeah, happens every day, and we know it. Bishop c7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bishop c7 might actually be a very nice move because he could go bishop a5 potentially, block the rook, and then he can try to capture the pawn on a2.
Nice. I thought he wanted to make room for his knight on d6, but bishop a5 looks very clean.
No, that as well. Yeah, it also opens up the d6 square for the knight.
Yeah,
so I think
d6,
both moves look great.
Queen f8, and white could lose coordination here. Okay, bishop d5 defends the pawn.
Yeah,
because once white takes this pawn, black has nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like if white takes a pawn on a2, he's just winning. That's really black's only hope. So maybe knight c3 here, hitting the bishop, hitting the pawn,
Yeah, I
or
want to
knight
sacrifice on
d6.
a5, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you're in Draken, you definitely want to sack on a5, and then you can go b4, b3. Because the a pawn alone can really, create any problems but with the a and b pawn, that can be very dangerous for white. So
Yeah, he's
bishop
gonna take on
b4
a5.
played. Yeah, he
Took on
takes.
a5.
Good decision. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
now looks like
now,
white is winning, but the engine set is not so clear. Like c6 looks very dangerous for black, but b4 is coming.
yeah,
It's not that
suddenly maybe
simple, actually.
black's position is easier to play because you just go b4, b3, and if white doesn't have anything clear, then he goes c6, b4,
I mean, he has to queen his
c7,
c
I
pawn.
guess.
Rook
I
e5,
guess you
rook
just
e1
push the.
instead.
Wait, so if you, he goes knight d3. So b3, maybe just
Rook
push the
c1
pawn.
now. Or just
He
push.
pushes.
Black is not bad. Black is not worse. Queen c8 and rook a7, is that just getting the pawn?
I guess so, but you might lose your. But there might be knight d6.
Somehow it doesn't
But
work knight d6. I don't know why.
But maybe you can sack. Maybe just sack queen c7, and you're down 2 knights,
Really?
but you have 3 pawns. And how's
Wow,
white
this
gonna
is a
stop the
very
pawns? And we're
awkward
looking at a
endgame.
crazy game here.
I mean, if you don't see the, I would think I'm winning with white here, but apparently I'm much worse. Wow.
Yeah, and the
Rook
players are getting
c2
low on the clock, and Draken is getting. He almost got under 20 seconds. Okay, g4
G4.
played.
But
So
how is white winning?
f5.
Like queen f5.
But the knight doesn't have a square because if you go to c5, black can take. If you
But
capture
what
the
about
other
knight
knight, you go
g5?
b2.
Knight g5, rook
Knight
d2.
g5, then rook d2. Yeah, you want to dislodge the knight
Ooh.
from d3.
Wow, this is a
So
brilliant position. Like it's just winning,
yeah,
2 knights down. There's
yeah,
no
we're
ways to
treated to a
go.
very nice game here. So knight d6, rook d2 now, and
Probably
you cannot
just
move the knight. So black's
should be
simply
two
going to
just.
capture the knight, and then he's going to go b2. So I think knight c4, but you just take, and then you go rook c3,
Rook
do the
c3.
same thing over.
There's no rush now. We have 3 pawns already. b2. Oh, b2,
You
rook
can even
e2
go.
still. Rook c1.
You can
You
even
wanted
go
to
rook
play.
c. Oh, but now knight b3, knight b3. I would have gone knight
He had a
b3, go knight
chance.
b. But now if
But
you go
then,
knight b3, black has rook h3 at the end. Take, rook h3.
but the king was better on f1. Yeah,
Exactly. If the king was
it
on
was a
f1, you could
draw.
just go king g2, but now you just go king up, king.
He had rook
Yeah.
c1 right there, right? Working. Rook c1 was working there. Yeah,
Oh,
sacrifice the
don't
rook.
take the pawn. Don't take the pawn because of f4. So he goes f4 himself.
Yeah.
And white flags.
Wins on time.
Damn, what a game.
Wow.
So yeah, we see Andraken get the win here. Very up and down game. Both players found a
Definitely.
lot of amazing resources. And yeah, I feel
Kept
like white
fighting.
had the draw there if he would have taken on b3 and moved earlier with the king and f1, because then you can just go king g2. But
Let's
yeah,
see
let's see. Are there any other games?
my
to look
Brazilian
at?
fella here. Roberto Molina is playing against Wonderful Time. Let's see.
Let's see if
What's happening.
maybe he will have a wonderful time because
He's an exchange up, but
he's
it's
down in
not simple.
exchange, but he has a lot of pawns.
But he's so uncoordinated
Okay,
here.
rook c6 now.
Should be
Okay,
6. Lose the pawn, rook e4, black. Molina has.
But now rook f4, rook f3. I feel like white's gonna win this game, but it's not over yet.
Not over yet. Yeah.
a5.
Oh, but now the bishop is. I would not
Now the
play
bishop
a5
is
here.
loose. Yeah, you can easily blunder it somehow.
I would not play a5.
Okay,
Definitely.
6. Yeah, probably was better to keep the pawn there,
time.
and he flags. So
where's the Brazilian audience there rooting for Molina? I'm watching the chat here.
Yeah,
but he just lost. Yeah, we gave him bad luck apparently.
All right. And
Okay,
then
okay, I think the
there
games
was
are
one
over.
game going on, but it just finished. So round 2 just came to an end. So let's see if we have a look at the standings. We see that Andraken is still on 2 out of 2. Zubov, Ranak Salwani,
Any big names there?
Joe. Yeah, a lot of big names are still on 2 out of 2. Since this event has only 174 players, it's pretty condensed. So that's why we see GMs play each other very early. But I think right now we might already see some very big matchups. You know, maybe like Andre can play 2900 or something.
Let's see Jobava. Who's he playing? Trying to catch Jobava's game. Let's see. Okay, we have Jobava against Guzainov.
Yeah, let's have a look at his game.
Yeah,
in
trying to open the
round
game.
3. So Guzainov.
Okay, we get Andre King's game. Okay, now we got Jobava's game. Okay. Yeah. So we see this bishop d7 line on this French variation. The French defense, the fourth Knox variation, I think that's what they call.
Exactly. Yeah. So with the move knight e to g5, White was looking to sacrifice. So he went queen e7 to stop all sort of sacrifices.
Queen e7, takes knight e5. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jobava had this idea to play g6 on this line, right? G6 and bishop g7. He had a game with the Karyakin, I think, long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, this line is extremely solid. Wait, but he takes on h7. That does not look right.
Can't I just take and play g6 or something like that?
Yeah, like, but maybe you go h4, h5, and you are getting out in time.
G2 is
So
hanging
Jobava
also.
decides to castle instead. And I don't know. Maybe take the bishop on f8. Make sure your knight does not get trapped.
That he's playing this kind of, because I mean, this line is one of the most passive lines in the French defense, but somehow he's able to make it interesting. He had this queen e7 idea. Suddenly it's super interesting, and this is an attacking position. White can play bishop g5, but then probably just bishop g5 f6. Yeah, no, check is not good.
And I would say the difficult thing for White here is that your king is still in the center, and if you go kingside castle, then you just open up the h file for Black's rook. The bishop on c6 is also eyeing your pawn on g2, so that looks very dangerous. So instead, he decides to capture bishop on f8, and maybe bishop d2 followed by queenside castle now.
But if you're gonna lose a pawn here, f4. Ooh.
So he goes f4. He wants to hang on to that pawn, which makes a lot of sense.
I can't play just knight c5. Maybe I don't know if there's anything better. Queen h4 is nothing. I just play queen f2.
Yeah, knight c5 looks like a good move. Putting pressure on the bishop on d3, and he goes for it. Bishop
wow,
c4,
he really wants
to. I feel like White is taking on too many luxuries here in his development, because you know his king is pretty exposed.
How's Black winning here?
Let's say threats. Knight g3 is a threat. Queen h4 is a threat.
Oh, knight e4. That's a nice, very calm move. Subtle move, and suddenly White's just losing in 14 moves.
Yeah.
Wow.
Queen b4 is also a threat. So yeah, like I said, I feel like Guzainov really should have just tried to get his king out of the center instead of exposing it more.
He believed he had time to do anything he wanted, so he played like f4, bishop c4. There was no rush to develop, but he was punished here. He was punished by Black, and suddenly White is in a massive. He's in massive trouble now.
He's a very strong attacking player, so he will definitely be looking to take advantage of such opportunities.
Yeah, I don't see what is White possibly doing. Knight g3 is a big threat because it's a fork, and if you take the knight, the rook is hanging on h1. If I don't know, move the queen b4 is winning the bishop. Queen d3, just rook d8.
And if you castle, that seems like, you know, castling into the storm. Maybe just queen h4. If you go h3, I have knight g3.
Rook g1.
Goes rook g1. I would just
probably
take
just
that on h2.
Queen b4 is not
queen h4.
That strong. Yeah, queen just rook h2. Bishop d2 maybe.
Yeah.
No, then knight d2 is winning. No.
Yeah. So queen b4, maybe c3.
Knight c3 and bishop d2 or something. He played. It's not good. He blundered.
Bishop b4. So c3 has to be played now, and if takes
knight bishop d2 maybe.
But bishop d2, there's queen b2, which looks crushing.
Wow, there's a
White
move here.
only has
A3.
16 seconds, so if there's a way to hang on, it's also.
A3 maybe. Oh, then I lose the rook.
Oh, what he could do is knight takes c3, pawn takes, queen takes king f2. And if you take the rook, there's bishop b2 and your queen is trapped.
Wow, yeah, rook h2 was stronger than. Wow, he found it. 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Impressive if he takes. So king f2,
Yeah, so
nice.
we
find there.
might see this game turn around completely because Jabava is also getting low on the clock now, and white can just go bishop e3 perhaps to try to go long castle in the next move, and he's fully in the game. If black would have just gone rook takes h2, just keeping on the pressure, I think he would have been cruising to victory. But now it's anyone's game. But he keeps on, spending
He
all
wants
these
to defend
moves in the opening,
everything.
but now if you go king f2, there's rook h2, so you can take the
Huh.
rook, you can take the bishop. Both look completely crushing now.
Yes. Okay, yeah, he had 16 seconds, but the queen a5 was a very smart move by Jabava, keeping the tension and waiting for his opponent to go around. We already have 3 players at 3 out of 3. By the way, he's an exchange up now. A very clean end game now. Just play b6, c5, king b7, c5 first.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think Jabava is just gonna get the win here.
6 looks nice. King b7.
Yeah, white's trying to push forward on the king side, but I mean it's difficult in the first place to create a pawn there. I think if you're black, yeah, he just pushes forward, takes,
Yeah,
but now
he has
g5,
g5.
g6.
It's annoying suddenly.
Not sure how I feel about this. Yeah, I feel white has real counterplay here. Yeah, but
G5,
g5, suddenly the position plays itself.
Ooh, it's equal now suddenly.
Yeah, bishop f
G6. Okay. Oh, he held on somehow, but he cannot advance now. Maybe he can. Oh, he can. Rook a1. D1. He wants to attack.
So he's looking at rook d6 check.
Mate, there's a mate idea now.
Yeah, bishop c3 is bishop c3 would have. Yeah, he goes rook b6, c4 though. Check.
Oh,
king
d6.
Is he gonna go forward or just defend the pawn? Bishop
Maybe it's repetition.
Or there might be rook c8. Yeah,
there
good
is.
move. You can go rook b7. You can. He goes forward. Check.
Well, now I was gonna lose b5 pawn.
g6 played.
And white won.
And he flagged.
Wow. I thought white was flagging.
Oh, Jobava could have taken that pawn, and after white takes rook on h7, there was g5.
Right.
And you win the rook on h7.
Yes, there was a.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. Especially, both players had no time on the clock. It's much easier sitting here and commentating than playing that game.
Yes, we're catching some good games here. We're being lucky here on the game selection. Getting very exciting.
No, crazy game. I thought Jabava was just cruising to victory. He was up in exchange and 2 pawns, but Gusenov did a amazing job at fighting on and creating counterplay, and suddenly it was complicated. So
we just see a win here.
Let's have a look.
RD forever.
But there's still
few games. Okay, we have again our Brazilian player, Roberto Molina. Again, one of the last games, but he's trying to win this very drawn end game. There's no point here playing on.
Don't think he'll manage. No.
This is the worst position ever to try to win. Okay, he's trying. I don't know what.
Keeps giving checks.
Okay, now it's a draw. Repetition. So
draw.
We have 9, 10, 11, 12 players. I think 12 players at 3 out of 3. We have Gata Kamsky there, a legend sitting at 3 out of 3. You have Sanan Sujirov. We have Izoria, many strong players. Who else is Abdusatorov also is at 3 out of 3.
Yeah, so the field is shaping up like there's not a lot of players left on a perfect score. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next round.
Let's see this.
Which is probably going to start pretty shortly.
Yeah, we already have the games here. We have Matthias Blubaum from Germany against Dmitry Andrakin. Very nice game here. First board, both players sitting at 3 out of 3. There was this. Yeah. We see a London
already
system.
Up a pawn. Yeah, there's a London system. But black could try to go knight d7 now, get the pawn back. And if you go knight b3, there's a4. So yeah, a4
Wow.
now. And I
And
think black is a good position.
on 94 is gonna try. But this
Knight
is messy.
d4. But maybe you just
E5?
take anyway and sec the pawn.
What about
If you go-
E5, take, and no, this just doesn't work. At EF4 at the end, no, it's
E5, there
much.
might be bishop takes c6. Knight takes on
bishop takes,
c5.
okay.
So you can take now. You can take now on c6, but black has a
bishop A6
lead in development
maybe?
there. Yeah, I can take.
Oh,
Okay, he decides not to take, but black should just be better now. He has the center. Goes bishop d7. There might be some
he took
tactics
this
here.
he took the practical decision, white. He could have taken on c6, but he felt it was too dangerous. There was bishop a6 idea. His king's in the center, so he tried to play solid. But as you said, black is just doing fine here. He did everything he wanted. The opening, e5 is an idea at some point.
Exactly, and
A3
maybe there's some
94.
tactics with knight takes d4. Yeah, he
There is
takes.
actually.
White can recapture with a knight. If you take with the bishop, I guess you take on d7, and that works
What
out.
about solid e5 here, just crushing positionally? Isn't that very good?
E5, bishop d7. Maybe just queen
Well, I
takes,
wanted
and you
to
have a
queen take,
very
rook
nice
e8, rook
position.
d8. Maybe it's not
Yeah.
no, but it's very comfortable for black, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll be very happy here with the black
Thinking.
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Draken already looks to be
Went for
better with
A3.
the black pieces.
He wants to tickle here the structure here. If b4 to 94, hitting c3. And there's this idea of taking on d4 at some point. Doesn't work, doesn't quite work now.
And maybe
White
if
has to be
white goes
watching.
b3, his idea is to take the knight now. And if you take
And
on
take on
d7, then
C3.
he wants to take on c3.
Okay,
So
plays
blue pawn
five.
takes, but there's this in-between move, a takes b2.
Oh, this is
hitting the
horrible
rook.
for white.
Yeah, he did a
Exactly.
nice job of ruining white's pawn structure on the queen side.
Definitely.
A2 is weak, c3 is weak. Yeah, knight a4
Yeah.
is coming, potentially hitting the rook, hitting the pawn on c3.
Many London players are crying right now, right? To see this position after 20 moves. This is not good for white.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, you want all your pawns to be nicely connected in the London. You don't want any isolated pawns, no double pawns, but yeah, what is white done?
Yeah, now maybe how is black proceeding now? Because it's queen e8. Wow, it's a very deep move.
I guess he wants to go knight a4 and not be hit by rook takes b7.
Wow.
So he goes knight a4, rook b3, yeah.
Defends the pawn.
Maybe b6. Okay, so he repeats the moves.
Of course, he doesn't want to draw here. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna play on. He goes knight
what
e4.
about c4?
But
Does that work?
c4, yeah, you cannot take that pawn because that leaves the knight hanging. But rook c2
Go
looks
for the
passive.
passive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play e5, yeah, because that closes his bishop, but he could consider at some point. It's very good move. The bishop's on h2 becomes a little bit more passive. He goes back with the queen. Now there's no pressure on b7. Yeah. What about c4? There's a fork, yeah, at the end.
Yeah, I guess c4 you take with the pawn, and if white takes with the rook, there's always this knight d2 fork, hitting the queen and the rook.
Yeah.
And we see Matthias getting under a minute, so Andrejkin also has a nice time advantage. He's up half a minute on the clock.
Yeah, very nice positional grind here so far.
Yeah. Rook c4, nice move. He's looking to double up the rooks.
Where, here on c8? Probably, yeah, c8.
Yeah, I guess on the c file, yeah.
On the c file, b7 is hanging now.
Yeah.
Probably he will give it. So he wants to. Okay, he doesn't give the pawn. Knight c5 keeps on. Hold on to that pawn. Knight c5.
Yeah.
Queen b5 played. Probably.
I guess you want to keep the queens on. Yeah, you can trade, but maybe keeping the queens on the board is also nice because white's queen is slightly awkward.
Queen c8 maybe.
Slightly awkward.
Takes.
Okay, he trades.
90, but then b7 is hanging. Not so easy to coordinate here into because
exactly.
e5 then like e5
I feel like
maybe.
Blue Bomb did a good job of hanging on here. C3 and A2 are weak, but so is B7. So he has good chances to draw here, I would say.
And there's
Knight
a
F-
trick here. I take on
Yeah, knight
B3,
F-
AB, you're getting checkmated only one. Yeah, so you cannot take with a pawn if you play here.
Yeah. But knight F3, tricky move, because there's knight D2 now, and the rook is trapped on C4.
Oh, white is
And
somehow, white has a big advantage now.
oh, but he doesn't
92
see
rook
it.
C3? What was happening
But
with
then
the
there's rook
C3?
C5. Then there's rook C5, and both the rooks would defend each other. Okay, but now you just take on E5 and take on C3 with a nice position.
With an extra pawn, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an extra pawn? No, no, it's not actually.
He doesn't see it, but bishop D4 looks like a very nice move now, blocking the D file, and the pawn on D3
and
is
I
just
take
going
with
to
the
drop
C-pawn.
off. Yeah.
Now white's a pawn up. 6 against 5, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And both players are getting low on the clock.
And
Yeah, it looks great now
this
for
is
blue bound. Okay, he
CD?
trades. Take with the C pawn. Yep.
I don't see tricks now.
Maybe. Yeah,
Is
you
there
can go 94 and 94 and take on F2.
Ah, I hate F2.
But,
Oh, nice. Okay,
yeah.
that's something.
But white's king, yeah, you can give another check, but king up, 96.
Okay, defense B7. But now
I don't
A4
really see
maybe.
how you're gonna trick white here. Yeah, rook D5, nice move, pinning the knight. Rook
The king is super safe.
Rook B6 is a nice move now. Okay, goes E4.
Yeah, that was just
rook
probably
back,
winning. Yeah, E5.
E5. Yeah, just straight
Take and
now.
king E4.
King E4.
King
Yep.
E4. Just G4.
G4, nice move, kicking the knight.
King F4 probably just going after the knight. 92 queen, king E3, rook A2, and probably rook B7. Okay, he still found some coordination here.
Yeah.
But he found some.
Still tricky. Knight. Oh, he has a draw now. Knight G3 and
but king
94.
G2. Oh, then check on
then
A2.
you check. Yeah, just
probably
keep,
it's a draw.
Yeah, just keep checking. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, good escape. Good escape there.
Yeah, we do have a draw because if you would go king G2, rook A2, then you can never go to the F file because of rook F2.
Right. Good point. So I have to king G1 and check again. Yeah.
So yeah, we see a draw here between these two, heavyweights, I would say. Let's see what other games we have.
We have Elham Blitz here playing against Sujarov. Pawn, extra pawn for black. Very annoying endgame here for white. F4 is coming.
I feel like black should be winning here. Just go E3 and then the white king will have to decide.
King G3 next.
Yeah, king G3.
Now rook D4 coming back.
D4.
This is so passive.
We see the Russian endgame technique.
Yeah, pretty clean.
Yeah, just push
everything forward. F3, yes. Yep. And it's mate.
So Sugarov moving to 4 out of 4. We saw him go 9.5 out of 10 last week, winning the Swiss. So maybe he can do it again. He's on a perfect score so far. And
what about this game? Ooh, he found a stalemate. Queen B6. Did you catch it? Quick Jaspin game against Kasparov.
Oh, Jocelyn.
He played Queen B6. Yeah, okay, but probably it was a draw anyway. It was a nice find here.
Because white was up 2 pawns, but in Queen endgames, if you have one passed pawn that's advanced pretty far, then
it's tricky.
You always have good drawing chances because, the pawns are just difficult to stop. And there's always potential for perpetual checks.
Yeah, now we have an endgame here going on here. 2 rooks against a rook and a pawn. Should be pretty simple for white to win, but white's struggling a little bit to bring his king over. King B3 repetition.
He should not repeat too much because might just say a draw at some point.
There was almost a repetition there.
Yeah, I felt like there was a 2-time repetition. Yeah, and black flags.
White one on time.
So white.
Okay,
white does get the win. So that wraps up round number 4.
Not sure with the best, not yet sure if with the best technique, but he brought the point home. That's what matters.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna have a short break here on this 4th round, and we have many leaders. I think we have 2 leaders actually. Oh, well, only 2 leaders. There are so many draws. 3 leaders actually. 3 leaders.
3. Yeah.
Heading into the 5th round. So we'll be back in a few minutes to continue this big tournament, and we'll see a lot of action still happening. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes.
right, welcome back everyone to the Speed Chess Grand Prix. 4 rounds just finished. We have 3 leaders. Shigaev, Shugarov, and Darius Sweerts are still on 4 out of 4. So those players will be, 2 of those will be playing each other. One of those will be playing a player on 3.5 out of 4. So yeah, Krikor, we saw Shugarov go 9.5 out of 10 last week. How do you feel like he's gonna do this week?
Yeah, definitely he's one of the candidates. He just crossed the 3,000 mark on his Blitz rating. He's there, I mean, with some big names, and we see so many players at 3.5 that are just there watching them and trying to score a win. And we have the games already. So he's playing Darius Shure in the 5th round. He started with D4. We have a Grunfeld, maybe? We have a Grunfeld. Let's see. What's the refutation to the Grunfeld we're seeing today? Bishop C4. Okay, we're seeing a very classical line with Bishop C4, Bishop E3 92. Yep. So many games have been played in this line. F3, no, it's the typical reaction. Bishop D7. I like this line for black.
Yeah, so this is one of this is the old main line of the Grunfeld. It was heavily debated in the Karpov-Kasparov matches, I believe, in 1987. White is a center, but black is arguing that he has pressure against the center. Darius goes rook c8, x-raying that bishop on c4. So Shugarov defends it sort of with the rook to c1.
Yeah, and white has this idea to play at some point, try to play d5 and c4. Of course, that's far from easy to be played. So sometimes I want to play bishop d3, and black can fight against that in a number of ways. Try to play sometimes e5 and knight e5, c4. White can also play sometimes h4, h5 in these positions. Let's see what black. Queen a5 is a move here, I think. Trying to say he takes directly and tries to exchange queens like that.
B4 and goes queen a5. So I mean, from these 2 moves, it's clear that black's happy with a queen trade. I think the endgame should be fine for black. So
me too.
White might try to keep the queens on the board, maybe slide the queen over to b2 or something.
Yeah, I like this move. Yeah, because the endgame is just black has a clear plan with the queen side. Of course, white has the center, d5 and bishop d4 could be an idea, and then try to march his king over to the center. But generally, I like black's chances here. So how is he going to fight against d5? That's a question here.
Exactly. Yeah, I think if you're white here, you're looking to play d5 on the next move. Maybe e6 to stop.
Yes,
d5.
I was thinking about that too. Definitely, I was thinking about e5. Because d5 is he played e6.
Plays e6. Yeah. Yeah,
maybe
I would say black should be doing fine here. White is a center, but you can't really use it here. So yeah, very solid game so far. And
yeah, black maybe can try to advance his pawns on the queen side, but it's not that easy. Like b5 and a6, it's kind of a possible idea. It's weakening a little bit, but probably okay. He plays d5 anyway. Black has to take now after e6.
Yeah, d5 is a very surprising move to my eye. I think black should be fine after this trade, but it's not that easy to deal with the attack on the a7 pawn, because after b6 there's bishop a6 now, and black has to concede the c file. Your knight at a5 is also a bit off.
Probably bishop e5. Yeah, just taking bishop e5 and rook e8.
Bishop e5.
Yeah, rook c7 is
still
annoying.
Looks pretty solid. Maybe bishop f4 is a move in that case, trying to trade off the bishop so you get rook to c7.
It's possible.
Rook e8, hitting the bishop.
Wow, b5. What about
b5?
What
so
okay,
the knight is he's blocking off the bishop, and the knight can hop into c4 now. Very nice move.
Wow, that was a very quick move by him. Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, we see Shugarov is up, like 20 seconds on the clock. That could be a factor later. Darius is actually someone I know quite well. He's one of my teammates at St. Louis University. He's a very strong blitz player, but I think he's in a bit of trouble here against Shugarov.
Yeah, 94 is happening. Bishop d6 is the main threat, of course, but 94, b5 is hanging also. And
Yeah,
yeah,
lots of threats now.
this is
Bishop
awkward for
d6 is
black
a
now.
threat. As you mentioned, the pawn on b5 is hanging. Something like
Yeah, I think
94.
he realized that he had to maybe keep more pieces. He didn't want to exchange because of the rook c7 idea. He wanted to keep dynamics, but now he's in deeper trouble. The engine doesn't think it's too bad, but definitely white's better here. There's probably like a
Yeah,
plus
no,
one or something.
I would
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
Yeah, plus
how
one.
are you defending the pawn on b5 in the first case? And apart from the fact that white's better on the board, he's also up more than a minute on the clock. You see Darius getting under 20
Yes.
seconds, so
I mean,
he's in a
if you
tough
have to give
spot.
the, yeah, if you have to give the, you could have taken on
If
c3 and knight c4. That was ugly. Oh, the bishop h6 was also winning.
yeah,
Okay, bishop
you can,
d5,
he
sacrifice the
trades.
pawn. Oh, but you cannot
You
take really.
can
d5 is hanging.
exactly, yeah. So maybe
Rook,
you have to hit the
rook
rook
d1.
first with f4, and then take on b5, rook d1,
Oh,
rook
rook b6 is a
b8,
threat now.
94. 94 looks like a very nice move now. Threatening knight f6, threatening rook c7.
Knight
Darius
c5
in
also
only
an
10
idea. Rook c7.
seconds.
Oh, it's in big trouble
Rook
now. There's
b6.
no knight f6. Bishop c8 now, maybe no, but then yeah, d6 then.
Mm-hmm.
This pawn is
Yeah,
too
it's a nice
fast now.
move. You cannot trade because if you trade in d6, d7, it's just gonna promote the pawn.
Yeah, probably d6 now.
He
It takes
trades.
and d6. d6 again.
d6, but if you take the knight, there's still knight b7.
Ah, right. The knight
So
is rook c7.
yeah, rook c6.
That's winning. Yeah.
It's probably winning. Yeah, he has a minute to figure it out. The d6 play
Okay, he
takes
just
d7, knight b7,
yeah. And he went
c7.
for it. Rook b7.
But you just take and queen the pawn. It's
Yeah.
over.
He had no time
Sugarov is
to
moving to
react to
5
that.
out of 5. Is he
Yeah.
e3?
He
But
plays
queen
on a few
d4.
moves,
Yeah,
but yeah, just f4, king rook d1. Yeah. Very
yeah.
solid now. Pretty
Yeah, very
standard
good
win
game
now.
by Sugarov. You know, putting
Positional
pressure on the
queen
queen
g8,
g8,
allowing
should be
e2, the
checkmate.
mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
queen f8
So he
and rook
wins
d6
here.
is just checkmate now.
Oh, actually, okay, now he won. Okay, so he's at 5 points now. The only player at 5.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, yeah, the only player because Shigav made a draw. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Shigav made a draw.
Made a draw. Okay.
We have Jeffrey here playing against Matthias. Crazy endgame. Apparently, it's equal. Many passed
Yeah,
pawns here
so
for everyone. Oh, actually, there's a draw already. Sorry. No, they're still playing me.
yeah, there's queen d4 trading up the queens and just rook
it's a draw.
c4,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a draw now.
Liquidate into a draw. Yeah.
So Jeffrey, he's a little bit behind.
4
but
points now.
For Jeffrey, I think he's mostly looking at winning the Grand Prix. So if he
Yes.
makes it into the knockout, he gets very close to, you know, gaining some more points. And you know, maybe after this this tournament, he could already qualify to the main event.
It's possible.
We saw
Possible, yeah.
he has a 12-point lead. So yeah,
Exactly.
wonder if anyone can catch him.
Yeah, it will depend quite a lot. So white, oh, white wins on time here. Wow, that was a disaster. We're seeing here 2 very young players that are here: Abdusattorov from Uzbekistan and Vincent Kamer from Germany, who tragically lost this position on time. I mean, it was a clean pawn up. Very bad position for white here. Black is active, has this very strong knight on d4, but he flagged apparently.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we see Abdusattorov move to 4.5 out of 5. He's only half a point behind Sugarov. Maybe he'll play him in the next round. Abdusattorov is also a blitz specialist, so maybe he can take Sugarov down, shake up the standings.
Yeah. We're seeing, okay, Zubov is going to win against Demchenko. Demchenko's the current European champion, right?
Yep, he's a European champion, but he's getting ladder checkmated here.
He got it. He was checkmated.
No,
even being the European
champion patterns. Yeah,
it happens to everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was under a ton of pressure there.
Yeah,
and Zubov's also very strong blitz ball player. He's running. He's now at 4. Oh, there's so many players at 4 points now. We see just
so what game do you want to look at?
There are few
Jaw
games still
spam,
going on. Just
Jocelyn
finish.
just won his game.
Wonderful
He
Time
moves
is winning also. Artur Gabrielian is trying to win this endgame against Elham. It's a draw. Yeah, it's a draw.
yeah, you cannot win this because as soon as you try to get
Yeah,
your
well,
rook to g8, black moves his king closer, and it's just a
but
draw.
if I had another file, it would be winning, right? If the rook is on d5,
I think
then,
so. Yeah, the king was just not cut off enough
and then
files.
I'll have time to play rook g8. Yeah, now
Exactly.
it's a book draw here. Yeah.
Yeah, you can give a check on the f file, but the king just goes to e7. There's nothing you really can
There's
do.
no.
Elham just sits and waits.
Yes, and
We're gonna
white. I
see a
mean,
draw
white's
here.
so close to making a queen here, but there's no way to move this queen
Yep.
because black's rook is just guarding all the squares. He's gonna try rook g8 again, but then I just keep waiting on h2. Looks fine. Just check rook f, king f8.
Yeah.
He wants to give check here. Rook f2 is just even cleaner guarding, and he goes for a funny stalemate here. And black was almost flagging there, maybe as a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
thought like, wait, he hung his rook for a second, but it was still mate.
He was a
So
stalemate.
so with any other pawn, it would be winning, but with a rook pawn, your king can never escape. So that's why it's a draw.
Exactly.
So we see Elham hold the draw here.
Yeah, I wanted to see the second board here of this round, which is a funny battle here. It's Abdusattorov, very young player, against old weak GM from Israel. I don't know who that is. Let me just check. Who's
Yeah.
that?
Maybe he's not that weak after all.
It's Honan Harzvi. I think he was he used to play Blitz a long time ago in yeah, in the internet in the past. I think he's a Blitz specialist also. So we're seeing a young player. Abdusattorov is like, how old is he now? Maybe 17?
17? I think he's 17.
Around, yeah.
He's from 2004.
Yes, yeah,
So
17.
we started off with 1b3. Looks pretty even. We see a lot of trades here. Black can trade on d5, and then there's only one pair of knights on the board.
He played this. Oops, sorry. Yeah, he played what was the opening? Sorry, trying to catch this. It was knight f3 b3. Yeah, the new fashion. Play b3 in the first move or second move. Okay.
Yep.
Black wants to play e5, but once he plays e5, white has that file. So, but generally, black is fine here. Yeah, black is just fine. There's no way he's worried about this position. White didn't get anything. So the old weak GM was not impressed by Abdusattorov's opening, and he just plays e5, and he just has a very nice position. Rook e8, rook d8. Okay, rook f5. He's trying to trick here. 95 is a threat, right? Yeah, 95 is a threat.
Yeah, I would say it looks pretty comfortable for black. Yeah, this
How
of
do you
course
react?
the downside of these, b3 openings. The upside is that you get usually a game. There's not too much theory, but black should be fine if he knows what he's doing. As
Definitely.
you mentioned, 95 is a trick to look out for, but I'm sure there's plenty of ways to take care of that threat.
G3, D4. Wow. White apparently had a good move there for a second, but now D4 is very annoying for white. The engine is saying white is in some trouble here, and I mean, just bring the rook over maybe, because D3 doesn't work. Exactly, the bishop is defended. You cannot take here, but because the bishop is hanging on E5, and maybe just rook E8. And I mean, just black had played a very logical, principled chess. He made some a clean game so far, so he has to be doing well here. He wants to play knight f2 and d3 and on knight f2. Yeah, he can play knight f2. Yeah, knight f2, queen f3.
And white's king is always a little bit exposed. Black's king is still sitting nice and safe behind those 3 pawns over there, but white, his king is a bit airy over there. So black could maybe even sacrifice right now on g3, and he goes for it.
Wow,
because if you recapture, if you recapture maybe just knight takes c4, and there's a lot of threats, so he takes an f6. I would take that pawn on h2. Once again, just chip away of white's king side. Recapture.
And now we
F2.
see. Yeah, but now
Go for
c5 and maybe White wants to play. Wow, I cannot take
Rook
here because
E5.
rook g5 check.
Exactly.
Yeah, he went to check.
So maybe queen g6. You cannot go king h1 because rook h5.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you go to f1, and your king should sit pretty safe on e2, and then you can slide your own rook over.
Yes, and generally it's the kind of position that like a younger player is looking for, like looking for an imbalanced position here, and maybe approaching time trouble. The bishop is going to come back here to c1, so suddenly White is not doing bad at all here.
Exactly. Queen g6, nice move. He wants to go rook g2.
Apparently, White's not worried about that.
Yeah,
f5, okay.
Okay.
Very
Also nice move
here.
opening up the f file. I would still pick black here. White's king is always exposed, and that's always tough to deal with in a time scramble.
Even with the knight on e4, okay, but actually then that will allow rook g2, so it's not that simple to create a blockade of some sort there.
Exactly. So yeah, once again, he's not that weak after all. Rook g2, queen h5, going for queen
fe4
trade.
maybe? Isn't that fe4 annoying? Or then queen g6?
Fe...
Then there's rook f8 at the end. Maybe.
Yeah, but after h takes, there might be king f1 in between. So he trades.
And now fe4.
Now an e4.
Oh, you gotta take now. You gotta take it. King f1?
King f1 played. Clever move.
Is it time for brilliancy now? No. Oh, rook f8 still has. Wow, he's playing very strong game here. Rook f8, and the rook doesn't need to go back. The rook is doing. What is the knight? Knight f2 maybe. Yeah, to avoid rook g2.
So it looks like White is almost lost, but after rook gf3, there's still rook h2, and White's hanging on.
But I would play it anyway. Okay.
Yeah. Black should still be better because he has 2 pawns for the 2 minors, the two minor pieces. But it's not.
But you have to try to advance now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be able to play h6, g5, so you have a great square for your king on g6, but it's not that easy. The bishop is guarding. Maybe he wants to play g5 now, but I mean, he could. Yeah, now he wants to go for some counterplay. I can play rook e8 already in exchange, but then still is a very bad endgame for White, even if I exchange. The king comes to f5.
Exactly, yeah, no. I feel like you should definitely keep a rook on the board. That way you always have counterplay. If you exchange one pair of rooks, Black's task should be a lot easier pushing those pawns.
Definitely, you're right. Yeah. And now 94 maybe is a threat. But then again, I exchange, Okay, so Black is playing a very nice game so far. Takes.
Open knight f6.
I jinxed him.
F6.
Yeah, he blundered.
He had a fork.
Exactly. Right when I said he was having rook a1.
And how is he going to defend the pawns? Rook a1, a4, bishop a7 now, or bishop c7. I think all the pawns are dropping.
Gonna fall now.
Oh,
now White's winning.
Chop, bishop c5 or a5. Take one of those pawns. It's crazy. He missed knight f6. Okay, bishop e6.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, what is he doing? He's completely tilting. He's pre-moving everything. Wait, he's just tilting. Yeah, he's pre-moving everything.
Wow. Doesn't want to play chess anymore. He couldn't. Oh, 94 now is a. He could play king e5, but okay.
Right.
He couldn't make a pre-move, so he resigned. Yeah. Wow, very rich game here.
Abdusattorov moves to 5.5 out of 6. Let's see what else we have.
Oh, Sujirov made a draw here with Shigaev, I think. Let's see. Sam Savian here is playing against Jabava. Very messy position.
Very messy, yeah. But
now it's
I would say White has more time on the clock. That should count for something. But it's really anyone's game. I feel like Jabava could flag any moment because he's playing on like 2 or 3 seconds. Take and rook b. Oh, that's a nice move. Because rook b2 you go king d3 and you're just completely lost.
And the king cannot fall back. Yeah, knight c5 is a step in the right direction, in the wrong direction here for Sam.
Exactly. So he gives a check, but that's not really gonna change much. His opponent is gonna push forward. So I think
Wow.
we'll see Jobava get the win here as long as he don't flag. Just b2, king d3,
Yeah, king c2 and
c2,
is much,
queen,
much faster.
take an
Or
a4,
rook
rook
a4, yeah.
g4, and it's
Yeah,
all over.
GG.
Yeah.
Nice
So
endgame
Jobava gets
technique
the
there.
win. He
5
moves to
points.
5
yeah.
out of 6, and he stays in contention. What?
Let's see here. There was checkmate and this Yavruk Kurt from Turkey against Terry from Peru. There's a draw here also. And we have another Brazilian player trying to, he just won the game.
But he
Maybe.
got the dub. Yeah, he kept pushing, but he got the win in the end.
And the
It was
last
rook
game,
versus knight, so black
I don't know
should have been able
if it
to
was-
hold, but
yeah.
it's difficult with no time.
Now this is a messy end game. I mean, okay, now should be winning for white, but okay, king e4 it's clean, yeah.
So
King
we see the
f4,
rugby club facing off
rook
against the
g8.
chess club. Rook g8,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and now rook
But those pawns are
g5.
just gonna drop off, yeah.
h4 maybe,
just
trying
take.
some stalemate ideas.
It's
Let's see.
not 100% over yet,
King
because
g3. Yeah, but
no,
there's no
it's
stalemate
over.
here, yeah. It's different, yeah.
No, it's over, yeah.
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 So we're
So
heading
that
to the
wraps up
seventh round.
round number 6. So
2 leaders we have.
Yep.
Sujirov
So let's see.
and
Shakirov
Abdusattorov
and
at 5.5.
Abdusattorov
Will
on a
play each other.
5.5 out of 6. They're gonna play each other. Yep. And then there's a pack with people on 5 out of 6,
5.
8 players, and then there's a whole group with 4.5 out of 6. Once again,
Yeah, and Jeffrey made a draw. Jeffrey made a draw
Jeffrey
again.
made a draw. Right.
I think he was at 4. He's at 4.5 now.
Yeah. Yeah, the top 8
we have the
qualify to the
games.
knockout stage. That's especially for Jeffrey the most important. If he makes it there, I feel like he has a good chance of getting enough points to qualify for the main event. But the others, I'm pretty sure, are looking to win a nice prize in the Swiss.
Exactly. We're looking at a $2,500 prize for the first place,
Exactly.
1,800 for second place there.
Yep.
So this is Sujirov playing against Abdusattorov. Just for what it's worth, Jeffrey's playing Elham from Norway. Okay, well, every game is very tough here. So he just checking to see how his chances heading into the last rounds. We have 10 rounds, so we still have 4 rounds. This is number 7. We have a very typical position here. Black has a good play on the C file. White could maybe try to attack.
Yeah, so we have a French structure. The bishop on c3 does a very nice job of holding the pawn on d4 and the pawn on b2. And white might be looking to try to start some sort of attack on the king side. And black will be looking to create counterplay on the queen side with, doubling the rooks on the c file and
it is
something. It's not that
similar,
easy, though.
Yeah, it's a similar structure that we saw in the game that Duda won against Carlsen, right? In the World Cup in the tiebreak.
Exactly, yeah.
Very similar structure. Yeah, with black, he won the game.
Yeah, Duda got a huge initiative going on the queen side, which was eventually too much for Carlsen to handle. Very nice move here by Sugarov, maneuvering his bishop from f1 to d3, I guess is what he's going to do. Because the bishop was just kind of stuck staring at the pawn on d5, but as soon as it lands on d3, it will be putting a lot of pressure on black's king side.
So what do you think here? I mean, the engine says it's balanced, so what do you think white's chances are good here to have this attack? I mean, to make this attack happen?
I would prefer white here. It looks difficult for black to create counterplay on the queen side. And white's plan is pretty straightforward. You're going to go bishop d3 and then maybe knight g5.
Maybe just rook c1 out?
Right, yeah.
Something like that. Because I want to take with the pawn probably and make this tougher for black to open up. Okay,
exactly. And he goes rook a to c1. So if you trade, white wants to recapture with the rook. H6
with the rook,
played.
I thought it was with the pawn. Bishop c3.
Yeah, it could have also taken with the pawn, right?
Yeah.
But that could create a target potentially. Move the knight and queen a5. So I guess he wants to recapture with the rook. Yeah.
And then rook e c1. Keeping. Okay, he's trying to attack there. G4, G5.
Yeah,
He's
this looks.
usually do these attacks when the position is closed, but it's not really close position, but he's trying to create targets here. This is a very important game for both of them leading the tournament. Whoever
Yeah.
gets to 6.5 is gonna be okay. He takes it a pawn.
Okay.
Tries
Yeah,
to
I
play
would say
this
knight
G5.
e7 followed by queen a5 now looks like a nice plan for black.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sack this pawn. Okay, I have rook e3 at the. I mean, in the worst last
Right.
case, it's not the
But
end of
then
the
I
world.
guess, black follows up by bishop b5, trying to take
Mhm.
control over the light squares.
Yeah, it's
So,
possible. Yeah, it's still h5
Yeah,
and
I
now
would-
g5 is next. So he plays
Yeah, I would
this
say it's
to
any
stop
one
h5.
games.
Yeah,
Rook
probably
e3 now, just defending
he
the
will
pawn.
not give the pawn. Maybe he will. No, he won't give a pawn.
Yeah, I feel like you just have to defend the pawn, otherwise black's counterplay comes a bit too fast.
Mhm.
So I would just go rook e3 and then try to push for g5 later. Oh, he goes for it right away.
G5.
Interesting.
Rook c3 now. Probably gh6. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah,
it's
because the black rook is actually pinned.
there's
So
a
that
pin
could-
exactly.
So that could be a bit scary. Black can also play knight f5, so that way he can recapture on h6 with the knight.
But then bishop
Um,
d3. Oops, sorry, bishop d3 here. Maybe
Yeah.
putting some
Yeah, it
pressure
looks
on.
very
It's not easy.
complicated. Yeah, he takes on
c3,
c3, so take
gh6,
on
I guess.
h6 now. Yeah.
It's very complicated here because the pin we're talking about is this one, so you cannot take the rook because the queen is hanging.
Mhm.
Now
Yep.
you supposedly you cannot take on h6 because f3 is hanging,
f3 is hanging,
Yeah.
right?
I guess. Yeah.
But maybe bishop d3 preparing to capture eventually, making sure the bishop is lined up. Also,
Yeah,
if black plays knight
have to-
f5, you can always take that.
yeah, but it's still. Yeah, it says white's better here. King h2. He wants to bring the rook over to g1. Have that option at least, and now probably b6 or something just to defend the queen. It's a very
Yeah.
important move now, trying to exchange everything, and of course, in endgame, black will be in a very good position here to win the game. But there's a lot of there are a lot of complications before endgame. Queen f4 now probably keeping the game.
Yeah, he has to keep the queens on the board. Endgame
Oh,
would be
this is
very
annoying.
bad.
Bishop
Knight
h3, rook
f5,
g1.
But bishop h3, you want to get rid of that knight, and the rook is sliding over to g1. Both
It's
players are getting low on the
incredible.
clock.
Black is not
but-
losing here. Oh, that's kind of safe
Yeah.
still. King h7.
Oh, but
Impressive.
rook g8 now. And
Yeah, now suddenly white's not
let's-
attacking anymore.
Exactly, yeah. Black's king looks completely safe.
You cannot take on h6. Maybe there's a perpetual.
Because,
f3 is hanging.
yeah, he goes king g2 defending the knight, but now you just defend the pawn.
But
Goes
now can
queen
maneuver the
c6,
knight.
Okay. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Queen h4.
This was a passive
He
move,
wants
I
to go
think.
queen d8
Ooh.
or
Knight g1. Come on.
knight g1 would be a nice maneuver. And he wants to go knight
Exactly.
e2 to f4.
He sacks.
Like goes
Queen f4.
f4.
Queen f4
You
is
could
fine.
take it right away or go knight e2 to try to
Oh,
take with the
he wanted to
knight,
stop queen
but-
g4.
Oh, but now black has a lot of threats. He wants to go queen to g5, which should be a winning endgame, or queen to c2.
Oh, f3 was too much probably for white.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
defense on c2.
Six,
knight
knight
e2.
e2. Check.
King f2.
There's another
Ooh,
check.
that's annoying.
But bishop h3 and queen e1 should be winning. Because you pick off
That's mate. It's not mate.
queen h4, king g1, queen e1.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would just take on
Keeps-
e2, just take on
picks the
e2,
knight.
take on f3. You
Take
take
on
a lot
h5.
of pawns with check. You can also take on, yeah. I would just take,
There's mate.
Take.
Yeah, you cannot go to h4.
but
How do
it's
we win
not
this
over
endgame now?
because
e6, queen g4.
queen e2.
Queen.
Yeah, there should be a mate here with a couple checks in f3. Yeah, just push the
Yeah,
pawn.
it's just so fast for white. Yeah, for black. Nice
And
win here
then we
for
see,
Abdusattorov.
yeah. Abdusattorov grabs the lead with 6.5 out of 7. He beats Sugarov, who almost went perfect last week.
Mhm.
But yeah, maybe Abdusattorov can pull it off this week.
Hmm.
So let's
And
see
we
what else we
see
have.
Federico Perez Ponza, Argentinian GM there, third place,
Mhm.
6 out of 7.
Mhm.
Very strong blitz
Mhm.
player also.
Strong
Let's see
performance
who
by
else
him
is
so
playing
far.
here. Yeah, 2 players at 6. We see Jabava playing against Shimanov. Shimanov got a second place, right? last
Yeah,
week.
Shamanov came in second last week,
Mhm.
but he's going down here against Jobava.
He is.
Um,
He just lost the game.
Jobava on 6 out of 7, still fully in contention.
And do you see a draw here? Oh, it's not a draw actually yet. It should be a draw. Casper playing with he has black, yeah. Christopher
Right.
Yu trying to defend his position with 2 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be enough?
Yeah,
Or
I would say it is a draw, but it's not that easy with no time and
but
Bishop
he
versus
should go
Rook.
to
It
the
is a
corner. Go to the
right.
corner.
He's almost in that corner, but
King A7 was cleaner, I think.
yeah, he's
Go to
going
the
to the corner
corner.
now.
Just go there, yeah. Okay, he wants to keep the king there. Okay, doesn't hurt anyone, I
The
think.
players are still pretty far off move 50, so there's still room for Casper to try. King E6.
Rook H7.
Look,
He's in the wrong corner. What is he
Oh wait,
doing?
yeah,
king should
King
not be
of 6.
here.
It's winning. King of 6. It was winning.
Why?
It was winning. He could have gone King of 6. It was winning. King
Now
G6.
yeah, he's in the wrong corner.
But
What is he doing? He shouldn't go there at
Rook
all.
F7. It's winning now. Check.
Now
check,
it's
and move the
winning.
Rook.
Oh, but how? That was.
What did he do?
What did he do? I mean, he just sit there on A8 and just you're there.
Yeah.
He just crossed to the other. Maybe he mixed the role in his head.
Yeah.
I don't know. In this endgame, you should always be in the corner opposite to your bishop's color, so you can guard the checks with B8 on A7, and you're stalemated here. Here you're losing in this corner.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Casper gets the win. A bit lucky, but he kept the pressure on. So you create your own luck. He moves to 5.5 out of 7. And as we know, Casper won the first week's event. So if he makes it into the knockout, he could be gaining some points as well. And maybe he still has a chance of making it to the main event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're seeing a very complicated endgame being played here between Azicom and Nesterov. I don't know who's trying to win here.
I always wonder why people play on Rook versus Rook.
With increments.
I feel like they're just wasting everyone's time.
You feel bad for the Rook B3 trying to catch the Rook. Okay.
But we see a draw after all.
Okay, we're gonna head to a short break once again. So we have one player leading. Sotrov at 6.5 and 3 players sitting there at 6, trying to catch the leader. And what matters here is to be in the top 8. So then we'll see a knockout between those players. So we have 3 more rounds. What do you think we'll see there happen?
So Abdus was in the lead, but he's being chased by 3 others. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Stay here, guys. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay, welcome everyone. We're back here to the last 3 rounds of the Swiss part of this great event. We have one leader at 6.5, Abdusattorov from Uzbekistan, young player. And we have then 3 players trying to catch him there in the lead. And we have the games already going in this 8th round. Let's see. He's playing black against Alexander Zubov from Ukraine. And they have like nearly the same rating, 29.99 and 29.82. And this is a mess already. We're seeing a Benoni for defense.
Yeah, I would say quite a surprising opening choice, in my opinion, by Abdusattorov. I mean, he's in the lead and he chose the Benoni, whereas, you know, a draw would not be a horrible result, but he's going all out here. But it seems like it might be paying off here because he's up a pawn and it's up to white to prove that he's got enough compensation.
But what's happening here? Like knight g5 rook f8 and check, right? That's the there's the check first.
But there's also a check, yeah. And if you move the king over, you just go queen f6, and if white goes knight f7, you go king g7.
There's no need to.
So this might actually be great for black, because if white doesn't have anything, he's just down a pawn. The pawn on e4 is super well defended. The knight on b4 is very strong. So yeah, it's really up to white here to prove something. But queen f6 played quickly. I think it's looking great.
And it's generally a little bit surprising that they're playing, Wayne, especially more for white. They're playing so fast here, and it's a very concrete position. You cannot just play like, you know, random moves or generic moves. You have to just calculate quite a lot here in these positions. Queen f6, okay, guarding those check. Just king g7. He removed the queen from the fork on f7.
Exactly,
made a lot of sense.
I don't really see what white should do here. It goes queen d2, but I think, as you mentioned, h6 looks like a good move. We can give a check with king g7. It seems like.
I mean, isn't that knight just getting
the knight could
lost
also
there
be getting trapped there? Yeah.
Exactly, like h6. What happens there? Yeah, his engine is giving already a big advantage for black.
Yeah.
King g7 first. Okay, now there's
right away.
Rook d1 maybe, but then he's gonna do the same. Take on h6 probably.
Yeah.
Or h6 first. I don't know. Hard to calculate here. Maybe h6 first.
d1 played.
Maybe 6. Yo, the engine is going crazy.
Three.
Back and forth, back and forth. I could have taken on d4. Wasn't that possible? Just take on d4?
Oh, right.
Bishop d4.
After knight to b6.
Maybe, yeah, because then knight c2. Oh, knight c2.
Knight c2 at the end, right.
Bishop f7. e1 is hanging also. Yeah. Well,
but it's still pretty complicated because the knight is hit on b6 and it doesn't really have a good square to go to. Because if you move it back, then, you know, knight d5 comes in, I guess. And there's a bunch of tricks.
Yes, and if you have to give the bishop to c3, you're in big trouble. Knight e1, a b6. And look at the b-file bar.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to take it.
Knight back. Maybe you should have just taken the knight.
Yeah, because knight d5 now queen d6. It's kind of safe for black. I mean, there's a fork and everything on c7, but that's not going to be
the end of the world. You would just get an exchange back, but you're still down 2 pawns, right?
Yes, and this is a very strong pawn on e4. 1 minute 52 for black here. White is under 45 seconds already.
Yeah, no, it looks great for black. He's also, as you mentioned, up a minute on the clock. So we might just see Abdusattorov cruising to victory here, moving to 7.5 out of 8.
Isn't bishop e3 now? Knight b2.
Yeah, or knight b2. Both should be winning.
Then d7. Knight b2 right away also is possible. Actually.
Yeah, there's still some tricks. But
there are some tricks.
I was going to say, I think if Abdusattorov wins this game, he will just pretty much guarantee himself qualification to the knockout stage.
With 7.5 and a good tiebreak, it's possible. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So he takes on f4. Also
That
looks good.
looks
Now the knight
crushing
on
also.
g5.
G5 is
Just
hanging
taking
now. What is
g5.
rook d4 is gonna try? Oh, he takes on rook in g5.
But
d7
he's
has
up
to
a full
try.
rook here. It's a bit too much.
d7.
And but then queen takes g2.
Ooh, there's a mate threat.
Yeah.
That was annoying. Queen g2 mate.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that.
He's-
No, bishop d7
Yeah.
probably.
He's up a full rook now, so I think he's just gonna win. Bishop d7 looks completely fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we
Plays it.
can switch this game. Yeah. He has a
Yeah, so we
minute
can
and
leave this game for now, I guess.
let's see board 2 here. We're seeing Perez Ponza here from Argentina in with 6 points fighting against Jabava. Jabava is a pawn up. It's a complicated endgame because it's knight against bishop. a5. 94 now, probably. King d6.
a5 is not really a move I like. I feel like maybe he should have just pushed the pawn. Because now knight d4
h3
looks really awkward to meet.
Then knight d6, king d6 then.
Yeah.
And bishop f6. Because now I have this
e5 here with white. Because if you take, there's a fork.
Because he wants to play king c3 here. Knight c2. He wants to stabilize like this, but I don't know how he can make progress actually. Knight c2 is going to play, I believe.
But this could also be tricky for white because if black, pushes the pawn forward, he can completely distract white and then go after the entire queen side. So I feel like it's really anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, black could even win. You're right. King d3 now, maybe, or knight g1. No, king b4 is a big threat now. Have to defend this somehow. It's not easy. He doesn't want to defend.
Yeah.
Okay, but black had h3 was maybe better.
Okay.
Now there's a perpetual. No, actually, the pawn is king d5, h3 then. King c4.
But take an a4 and the a pawn runs super fast. The bishop does a really good job of stopping the knight from coming back, and also stopping the white pawn at the same time.
It's probably over now. Wow.
Yeah, white's knight has a really tough time stopping the black pawn. So e6, just a3, push the pawn.
Knight d6 is gonna try.
Yeah, but you just queen and you have queen d4 at the end, and you pick up the knight.
Check. Queen d3 now, maybe.
It's not 100% over yet. He still has to win, but it's bishop d4, very nice move.
Queen c5 is coming. b5.
Or b5 would have been a very nice move.
Nice. And queen b6 mate.
Because if it takes queen b6, but he's going for a very clean way. And Jobava flags. So we see Kangas K moving to 7 out of 8. Also looking very good to qualify. But also just in the Swiss itself, he's doing very well.
Yeah, let's see
what else do we have.
We have Sadwani here playing against Pankratov from Russia. Sadwani is winning. Is an exchange up.
Yeah.
Rook a8.
Yeah,
okay, now
straight here.
King c3.
Go rook g7. You can He gets the win. He moves to
Sadwani
5.5 out of 8.
Yeah, so far away from the.
Maybe if he wins the last two, he still has a chance. What else do we have?
We have Danlas, young player from Belarus, playing against Dariush. King g4, trying to win this endgame. Tricky endgame, actually. It's a draw, of course, but we have seen. I think Artemiev beat Vashela Grav in a similar endgame in this rapid events. Yeah, we've seen. I don't know now.
F3. I would
already.
never go F3 in that position. Why would you give black protected?
There's no
pawn?
There's no. Why not King g5 there? Okay, engine bar is going fast. King d6 now. Rook d6. Rook d6.
Yeah, this should be a win. Okay, check and check.
Check and check is much better, of course. Rook f2 now.
And rook f2, you pick up a second pawn. It should be all over. King f6, take the pawn, check. King f5.
Wow, that was a big mistake there in the endgame. Definitely should not play f3 at all. Just help your
Yeah.
opponent create some many ideas there to win the endgame. Wow.
Exactly.
Disaster
So
here
we
for
see
white.
Darius Sweerts get the win. He moves to 6 out of 8, still fully in contention. What?
And we have the, let's see, Absatrov once again now playing against
Yeah, the wraps up round number 8. So
Perez
let's have a look
Ponza,
at
yeah.
round number 9.
Latin American player here. Let's see, C4. Let's see. Okay, we're seeing a English opening.
Yeah.
Reverse Sicilian, E4. Very interesting move. Bishop C5, knight takes C5. And bishop B4, D3. Let's see how he
Some
reacts.
tricky lines here. And yeah, once again, Abdusatov is in the lead. He's followed by only one player, Perez Ponza. And there's two guys on 6.5 out of 8.
Andrakin
I think
and
all
Sushiro.
those, probably all those 4 will qualify. And then there's going to be a couple from the back on 6 out of 8. Still all to play for.
Actually, we haven't seen much of Bortnik. I think he probably lost a few games there because it's 5.5 out of 8. I mean, we didn't see him in the top boards for quite a while already. Tough tournament.
Exactly, yeah. And actually, I just realized if Abdusatov wins this game, he might just win the Swiss with 1 round to go because his tiebreak should be good enough to win the tournament. So
apart from the knockout and scoring points in the Grand Prix, he's looking at a 2,500 first prize here. Great score if he wins the game.
Yeah. So he has the 2 bishops. He has these double pawns, but he has a nice grip here on the center. So like a queen to f6, hitting the knight. Maybe rook b1 looks like a nice move.
Because b6 now you have trouble taking. You have a hard time taking the queen d2. I was thinking, but then bishop f5, you probably can just take. And if you
maybe you move like queen h5, defending the knight, and maybe trying to look to attack.
Queen f3. Okay.
Knight h6 is a nice positional trick here, maybe. Like a king f8.
You take.
Trade, I
go
guess.
Back.
And knight back.
I need to go back now. Just f4.
Oh, wait, the
pressure.
knight was not hanging anymore. Oh, f4. This looks great for white. There's the 2 bishops opening up the king side. I think he might be getting another win here.
Yeah, also f5 is an idea. f5 and knight g4, just grabbing this pawn on f4, so and f6. So he takes, probably take with a. I mean, both moves are good here, but I think take with a pawn. The bishop's also fine, yeah. Because now he's just looking to attack this pawn on f6. Now he's to defend. King g7.
Yeah. Yeah, king g7 maybe. He takes right away. Okay, I felt like he should have waited with that move for a second.
Probably he'll have to take now.
And actually, I see that Perez Ponza offered a draw earlier, but Abdusatov declined.
Nice.
He's out for blood.
That's nice. Nice for us, to see their play.
Yeah. So
actually, I remember seeing Abdusatov maybe in 2017 in this Abu Dhabi Open tournament that I played. It was the last round, and I remember his opponent, strong player, offered him a draw. He was a favorite, his opponent. He was maybe 13 at the time, and I remember he refused the draw, played for a win, he won the game. And I mean I've seen him that he's a very strong fighter. I mean, he just wants to fight all the time, and it's surprising to see that in that such situation. He was playing a stronger opponent. Last round he had already a good tournament, but he wanted to win the game, and he scored the win. So that's a very good, I think, quality as a chess player, to be a fighter.
That definitely is a sign of a potential top player, because there's many talented juniors out there, but being talented is not good enough. You also need to be a fighter. You need to be confident, and we see here that Abdusatov is confident in his abilities to win games like these, even when there's pressure. He just goes for it.
Yeah, because you have to also train. I mean, yourself to the situation. So because there's some point you need to score a win and you have to deal with the pressure somehow. So that's very good experience for him too. Anyway, black is suffering here big time at this end game.
Yeah,
Bishop
it looks
E2
great for
maybe.
white, but there's no immediate breakthrough. Because if you go, let's say, rook f6, there's rook g7, and bishop h5, there's still rook f8. So he goes rook g6, trying to trade off one pair of rooks. How would you continue here with white?
Yeah, rook h5, keeping the tension, rook h4 at some point. Maybe the bishop has to be maneuvered some, maybe king e2, bishop g2, bishop h3, some, or just bishop g4. Yeah. Okay, f5 I don't like too much. I thought the rook was sitting nicely there on h5. Yeah, I don't like this too much. Okay, he can go back whenever he wants.
Yeah, maybe he should
Seems
just hit the pawn on h7, because he also has the idea of going bishop g4, bishop f5, hitting the pawn over there. And
because rook
he's
f7
switching.
is tricky. Yeah, he goes passive there, but I think it's what he has to do. King e2, okay, he's marching with the king. He's gonna try to play b5.
I think bishop g4 is a great move now, going bishop f5, and I don't see how you defend the pawn on h7. I think it's just gonna drop off.
Yeah, very nice positional squeeze here from white. Bishop f5, king d3 next. Yeah, bishop f5. You can just change everything, right? Just trade everything.
Right, I feel like the endgame should be winning, but he decides that since the black rooks are pretty passive, he can keep them on the board.
Interesting decision. I would definitely play rook h7 and then play with the h pawn, king d3, and the bishop would guard easily this queenside majority. But okay, he keeps the game going. That's a nice bit of trick here. I mean, not really a trick. I can take and rook h5. Right, bishop g6 also move, yeah. Okay, g4.
Because g4.
Looks nice, yeah. Bishop f5 next, yeah.
Right, but if they trade now on h5, he will always have a double. He will always have the double pawns, and that has he keeps the rook on the board. Probably good decision. Check.
Rook g6 now is just crushing. Yeah.
Rook g6.
F6.
King f3. Go for a checkmate because that king there is pretty stuck.
Yes, and king f4 now is just so nice. There's no way to. Now there's checkmate pattern somewhere. I don't see the pattern, but there's a pattern there. Rook g7 maybe.
Yeah. Rook g7, rook h8. He's still hanging on, but by a threat really. Rook g3. There's king h6. He goes rook f7. Okay.
Bishop g4. Oh no, that was on me. Yeah. Just take on a6. Just collect the pawns.
Yeah.
Okay, 7. Go back.
I feel like he should win slowly but surely because black's king is always in such a bad position. Yeah, he takes.
Very nice. Bishop g4 now is mate, yeah.
And rook h6. Yep.
Impressive, very mature. Play him by him, and he's the winner of the Swiss, I think, most likely.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
To 8.5 out of 9, and I don't think there's anyone who can catch him because he's gonna be at least he is a full point ahead. And did he play Andrakin yet?
I don't remember, but I'll guess that they played each other by now. And Wonderful Time is collecting a win here. He's going to 7 points after this. Yeah, king c3. He'll try to take. Yeah, there's no time to take. Rook g8 was an idea there. We have many players at 7. So yeah, now we see Abdusattorov at 8.5. Andrakin at 7.5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players at 7. Yeah, 6 players now probably. Let's see who else is playing here. Okay, games have finished. Demchenko is trying to win against Alejandro Pacheco from Venezuela. He wins. 6 points for Demchenko. Oh, actually, that's also over. Yeah, I think we have the last round beginning in a few seconds.
Last rounds is gonna start.
It's interesting to see now if Abdusattorov is going to offer a draw in like 10 moves, or he wants to just score 9.5 and just be the boss of everything. He's playing Andrakin. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah. No, I think
Maybe he'll play solid this time. Okay, I don't think he'll go crazy. Like G4 is a positional line. It's not a, yeah, they draw. Okay. He can be a fighter to make a draw once in a while here and there. It's fine.
We see a bunch
So
of players who drew quickly and who are already on 7.5 out of 10. Probably
right.
they're confident that should be enough to qualify them to the knockout stage.
Probably, yeah, we
But-
saw, I don't know who played who, but Jeffrey, Shigav, Wonderful Time, and Perez Ponza, they already 7.5 out of 10. They already played their games.
Yeah.
They made a draw against each other. So those players have 6 players already sitting at 7.5. But I mean, Sujirov has 6.5, and definitely, and for sure, he has better tie breaks if he wins.
Yeah, but there might be one of those players who could miss out because it's only the top 8. There's still a bunch of players on 6.5 out of 9 who will for sure go all out to win their last game. They have to try to qualify to the knockout stage.
Exactly. Even Bortnik is there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jabava is fighting here with, I mean, of course, qualifying is important, but the second place is like $1,800. I mean, if you score like Jabava, if he wins here, he's in, okay, second or probably third place. But there's big prize. There are big prizes there.
Exactly. Yeah. So we see
too.
Abdusattorov and Andreikin draw. Abdusattorov locks in that first place, and Andreikin locks in that second place.
Yeah, it's almost sure he's second place. Jabava has a good tiebreak, but I'm pretty confident that Andreikin would be better there. Before, yeah, White wants to attack here. Maybe Queen B3 here. Vincent Vega, I don't know who. Vincent Vega, let's take a look. Vincent Vega is an international master, Nenezic from Serbia. Having a great tournament, 7 points, good position against Jabava.
Yeah, I would say definitely looks more pleasant for White because it's very difficult to ever really do anything with the dark squared bishop for Black.
There's a trick.
Because there's
bishop
a trick, yeah. He
will be very good used.
Yeah.
Good use for the bishop.
Jabava is looking at that.
Yeah.
There's also h5, h4 to try to create counterplay.
I think he has to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if h4, probably you play h4, yeah, and then sit here to defend this pawn, but it's also not that pleasant for White. Like d1, but
he allows h4.
Mysterious move. Okay, he wants to bring the knight over. Huh?
But he has rook h1.
Yeah, I feel like Jabava will create some tactical idea here, like with knight d4 and queen b6. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Somehow, okay, bishop f6, solid move. He wants to keep the pieces. He will sacrifice on d4 at some point here. Pretty sure of that.
Exactly. So Jabava is one of the players on 7 out of 9 that is actually, playing the game. His opponent is also on 7 out of 9, but he would probably need a win because he doesn't have the best tiebreak.
Definitely, yeah.
But given the fact that Jabava is the better player, I think he's just going to go for the win. Because if he wins once again, he locks in second or third.
Great prize, yeah, and also qualifies for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
G8, yeah, it's just a matter of time. Like queen c7, queen b6 now, but that's too obvious. I think he'll be more subtle. Maybe a5. A5 doesn't work.
Yeah, it's really difficult for both sides to come with a plan here. But
oh, g4 is a move for White actually.
Yeah, g4, and then if you take the knight comes in,
it's annoying. Yeah, queen c2, bishop g. I don't know. There's some ideas there. f5 at some point. Of course, White's king could be in danger if you start opening too much.
Yeah, I like the plan that you mentioned earlier. Maybe just going queen to b6 and then going for a sacrifice. e5.
Wow. e5.
I did not see that one coming.
I said there would be a sacrifice. I had no idea it was coming that way. He wants to take on g3,
he takes on g3. He's down a piece for 2 pawns.
But this is so ugly for me.
Enough. d4.
I mean, unless he checkmates White, position is, he just ruined his position, his structure. He's believing in his attack. Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking some big risks here. I mean, if he loses, he misses out on the knockout stage. Um,
He does.
but it's really anyone's game. I feel it's very complicated. Um, both kings are
But
pretty exposed.
that's why he's him, right? That's why he's Jabava. He's just playing
Exactly.
all in there in a very delicate situation. Doesn't care, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right.
it says it's equal now, but why just winning? Looks good. Okay, she looks like a good move.
Yeah. Takes. You cannot take with the king because of queen f4. So you have to move the
Nice.
knight.
Sorry.
But the pawns are pretty blocked. You can't really push them forward as black.
F4, but the bishop, but I gotta play
Yeah.
F4.
F4.
Yeah, black's king is also in bad shape.
Yeah. Maybe queen c5, go for a queen trade. Jubava getting
It's
low on
possible.
time. He goes f4, knight g5.
Yeah, he has queen c5 whenever he wants also. Yeah, there's no rush. Oh, this is annoying.
Now,
These pawns are blockaded. They're worth nothing.
and your bishop is also kind of blocked in. Like, it's kind of
And
dead right over there. I
yeah,
think he might just go down and
position
lose
here.
this game. Knight f3 now, blocking everything.
It's possible.
That's what I would do.
And then try to take this a6 pawn somehow. Queen c7. I don't
Exactly.
know, where's the black queen going? Because I also stopped some
Yeah.
checks on h5. It's surprising that he's thinking too much.
Queen a1.
A1.
Because you have a
There's
couple checks with white, but you don't necessarily have a mate.
yes, I cannot.
Because king f6.
Now there's a mate apparently.
Check and knight
King
d4
g7?
perhaps. King g7, you have to. It's only, but knight g5,
Ooh.
knight g5, and queen e7. That's checkmate.
And
h5,
where
king up,
where's
queen
checkmate? King d5?
queen e7 and queen c5.
There's a checkmate, yeah.
Yeah.
Found it. Apparently. Maybe found it. Wow. Vincent
Jobava going down.
Vega is an international master. He's on the knockout here in third place. Wow, we definitely didn't follow his tournament, but very surprising here.
Yeah.
Player to be joining.
Yeah.
Wow, great tournament. And Bortnik just beat Shimanov. So he's at 7.5. Yeah, some players at 7.5 are definitely missing the knockout. Let's see. Itorizaga playing against Zubov. Zubov is definitely winning this game. He has a pawn on a7. His bishop is guarding here. A8. Yeah, exchange up. Now is like I can't even count this. Is an exchange up and a rook up. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's playing on d5.
I think that the field for the knockout is already pretty much shaped up. Once again, we have Abdusatov coming in first, and Draken coming in second. Vincent Vega also at 8-10 comes in third, and Jeffrey comes in fourth. Shigayev, Bordnik, wonderful time, and Kangas K comes in 8th. So I think those will be the 8 players who will be playing in the knockout. Let's see if there's any
because they have
last games.
Better tie breaks compared to it could change when we see the final standings. It could change, yeah, but there's a big difference between Ponza, Perez Ponza, and Razulov ninth place. We still have one game going. Alexander Rustamov is playing target A, and this should be a draw. Yeah, King F8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just see. Okay, so apparently, let's see. We have, Usatov wins the tournament, and Drake in second place. Vincent Vega is third place. Bortnik is fourth place. Jeffrey Xiong, fifth place. Shigayev qualifies also. Yeah, seventh place to wonderful time. Exactly as you said, yeah, those 8 players. Razulov almost made it, but he was still 1.25 behind Perez Pons on tie breaks. So we see those 8 players fight now in the quarterfinals for the Grand Prix points and also the big KO winner prize of $1,000. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes to continue this tournament.
watch as 12 of the strongest men and women's chess player in the United States battle for the title of the best player in the country. Catch Fabiana Caruana, Wesley So, Daniel Naroditsky, Irina Krush, Carissa Yip, and many more. Tune in to watch the US Chess Championship starting on October 6th and don't miss a single move of this exciting tournament.
That's a big event. We'll see in a few days. The US Championship is like a super elite tournament almost, because we have so many of the best players in the world there representing the US. And we have the bracket already here of the final 8 players. So we have Abdusattorov playing against Perez Ponza. Interesting match there. Bortnik playing against Shigaev. We also have in the other side of the bracket Andreikin playing against Le Tuan Min. Wonderful time. Very strong blitz player also. And Marko Nenezic from Serbia got an impressive 3rd place in the Swiss, playing against Jeffrey Xiong, the leader of the Grand Prix, who's definitely looking to score some more points and try to secure his spot at the Speed Chess Championship.
Exactly, yeah. Jeffrey is leading in the Grand Prix standings. And I mean, his quarterfinal pairing is something I guess he cannot complain about, because he's playing the only IM. So he should have a good chance of winning that match and moving on to the semifinals, in which he might play Andreikin, one of the players that still has a chance of catching him. But overall, it's looking really good for Jeffrey to qualify for the main event.
It is definitely. So we'll see. We're waiting here for the games to start. I think maybe Bortnik Shigaev will be a very interesting matchup also. Yep. And let's see, Perez Ponza is also a very experienced player playing against the young Abdusattorov, who played impressively in the Swiss portion of the. I think he scored 9, right? 9 out of 10, I guess, right? I guess 9. Yeah.
Abdusattorov, yeah, he scored 9 out of 10. 9, he did really well in the Swiss portion.
Yep. Yeah. Now we have the pairings there, and Andreikin Le Tuan Min also should be interesting. Andreikin definitely is a favorite, but we saw him in Le played so many of these events. Irina Kings is also very experienced in Title Tuesdays. And we're waiting here for the games to start in this quarterfinals. So we have a best of 2 games. So we have to score 1.5 to qualify to the next round. Two games played at the same time control, 3+1. The higher seed in the event starts with white, which could be an advantage to try to score a win right away. And then in case of a 1-1 score, we have a tiebreak, 1+0, the old and good bullet without increment. When things go crazy, very different from the 3+1. Could be favorable for some of the players, definitely. And in that case, they alternate colors until someone wins a game. So if there's a draw in a 1+0 game, they play another game. And of course, in a few games, we'll see a winner, because actually it's not that common to see a draw in bullet. So interesting. So, I mean, some players could be thinking about that, trying to take the game into the tiebreak or play solid depending on the situation, because we have many bullet specialists there. Probably Bortnik is the biggest one, the biggest specialist, and maybe Wonderful Time also will feel very comfortable. Le Tuan will feel very comfortable playing bullet if he gets there, of course, the tiebreak against Andreikin.
Yeah, I feel like Andreikin should be the favorite in that match in a 3+1 portion. He's a very strong blitz player, but like you said, if it comes down to the 1-0 bullet portion, then I would put my money on Ming Lei. And yeah, I feel like for the other matches, Abdusattorov should be favored, Bortnik and Jeffrey Zhang. I think those are the players that will move on to the semis.
Yeah, I think Bortnik, of course, if he can take it to the bullet, we'll definitely see him as a big favorite. But I think on the blitz part, I think Shigaev has been showing very strong play. I think he was playing in the finals on the Pro Chess League also, representing Moscow, and they won. Very surprising match against St. Louis. So he's definitely in a good shape. Of course, it was a longer game back then, but I think he has good chances too. So we have the standings once again, just to show everyone what we are looking for here. So Jeffrey is leading with 27 points after 2 weeks. This is the third week. We have 4 of these events finishing at the next week. We have Kasper Drozdowski. He didn't qualify this week. Of these players, okay, Andreikin is in the quarterfinals today, and also Mingle is also wonderful time is also in the quarterfinals. So these are the 3 players that we're seeing here that could make a big difference to the standings. And if Andreikin wins the event and Jeffrey doesn't do well, he could be in good shape actually.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I haven't done the exact math, but maybe if Jeffrey wins the next match, it's going to be very difficult to catch him already. I feel like Andreikin and Ming, since they are in the knockout, they have a chance of catching these guys. Because if we look at how the points are awarded, we see that if you come out in first place, you get 15 points. If you come out in second, you get 12 points. If you make it to the semis, you get 8. Then if you lose in the quarterfinals, you get 4 points. And all the others who came in from 9 to 20 got 2 points.
Yeah, so as you said, if he wins the first match, then it's already 8 points for him. He'll be looking at a 35 points if he wins the first match, of course, in case he doesn't qualify to the big final there on the semis. So definitely he's in a good shape for this spot here, but he has to be careful. His opponent had a great Swiss part of the tournament, and also only 2 games. It's a short match. Things can happen, right? We've seen things happen there. You just lose a game and then have to win.
Yeah, no, definitely, it's a short match, and but regardless, Jeffrey is in a great spot. He's already guaranteed 4 points, and so yeah, I think the games are gonna start pretty shortly. What match do you want to have a look at?
Yeah, let's start with this match. Abdusattorov from Uzbekistan playing Perez Ponza from Argentina. We see another English opening. Now he plays with G3. So it's same time control here. It's 3+1. This is a line that's also very typical these days. I think E3 and knight C3 is possible, right? Knight C2, I don't know. What's the main move here?
Yeah, this is one of the main lines of the English. Knight C2 is a move.
25, yeah.
So yeah, we see Abdusattorov switch it up a little bit.
He played different. Yeah, he played with knight C3 in the other game. He played with G3 now. He provoked this line with E4.
Yeah, I actually had this line in the World Cup in my very first game. And instead of doing bishop C5, I played knight A6. There's some tricks here in this line, like knight takes E4 could be a move, because in case black captures,
actually. And D4,
there's D4, yeah.
That would be a nice tactical idea here. Just sacrifice the knight, and then you get the piece back with a fork. He played D4 right away. Is it taking with a pawn? I thought he would take the pawn and D4, but that was probably superficial. He took with the queen, wants to play bishop F4, develop his pieces. White has the idea to play with this pawn majority in the center and on the king side. Of course, it's far from easy. The bishop is spinning this pawn. But usually I like white in these positions. I think it's slightly more comfortable.
Yeah, and that was, by the way, not a glitch you guys just saw there. That was en passant. It's actually a rule.
Oh yeah, E3. Good point.
But I think the game should be approximately even. I think if you're Perez Ponza, you're quite satisfied with the outcome of the opening. Black's play looks pretty straightforward. You have bishop h3, bishop f5, maybe knight g4 in some cases. And
yes, this square is very important for the queen, Queen h5.
Yeah. So
Bishop
played by
h3. Bishop
bishop
f3
h3 is a
maybe.
move.
Then queen g6. Okay, plays bishop e6, developing the pieces. They're
Mhm.
spending quite some time here on the clock. I mean, it's just move 14.
Yeah.
It's down to 140. He could exchange the queens, but I guess he has to exchange now. Yeah, he has to exchange. The knight's a little bit awkward now. This is a little bit awkward for white, in fact. The knight
Yeah.
here, I'd say. I don't know where it should be. Because rook d1, bishop b3. No, okay, he plays b4. Rook c1.
But on the other hand, black's knight on a6 is also a bit awkward.
Right. What
It
about knight
looks,
h5 now? Isn't that a
knight h5 looks like a very good move because you cannot keep your bishop pair. And now doesn't white have time to go b5? Yeah, he goes for it. Because putting pressure on the
becomes very
c6 pawn, putting
tactical
pressure on
now.
the knight.
Yeah, if you take, black is just in trouble suddenly. Knight b. Isn't that problem for black?
b5.
Okay,
b7 looks very awkward to defend. Knight d6 is a move.
b6
I think
maybe surviving somehow, but then I can maybe b6. I can take the bishop, but then you're not losing material. Knight d6. I can try to play rook e7 probably. Yeah, probably gotta go b6.
Yeah.
What is he thinking here?
But if you go b6 and the pawn on a7 is always hanging, I would just recapture the bishop and take on a7.
Hey, it's hanging again.
Yeah.
It didn't change much. Maybe he blundered.
Yeah.
Probably he forgot about the pawn.
Yeah, no, this looks great for Abdusatrov. He's up a pawn. He has the two bishops. So he should be cruising here.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, we have the other game. Okay, we'll take a look at here a little bit more, but it looks very bad for black. Let's take a look at the other games a little bit. Let's take a look at Andrakin here, positional squeeze here against Mingwei. Oh, it looks bad. Huh? What's his idea? Rook e7, rook c8.
And also Ming has no time.
Rook c8, right? That's the idea. Rook e7, rook c8 was the idea. Huh.
Goes g4. I guess he was considering h4, but then there was h5. So, but now h4, you cannot go h5. And
yeah, how is h4 not winning now? Oh, rook d8. Okay, rook b7. He's keeping an eye on the rook, trying to catch the queen. Rook c8 maybe. Queen b6, bishop c5.
But now rook a8, rook a7. Sorry.
Because queen b6 loses, right? To bishop c5.
Oh, right. And your queen is suddenly trapped. But then you have queen c7, rook c8, rook a7. Because if you take, I take, and then how are you going to stop bishop b4?
Rook a7 has to play. Yeah, this looks like winning for white.
And he
he plays rook a7. How does he defend bishop b4 now? That's the big question. Oh, he doesn't take. He doesn't allow, but now you lose a6.
Right, you can just trade and take on a6, but it's not over yet. Right, black can go b4. Hang on.
Yeah, with 5 seconds, it's hard to believe he's going to survive. But yeah, they're still playing, definitely.
Exactly.
Bishop b1.
So, yeah, Andrakin looks to be in great shape here to get the first win. But he still needs to finish it off, which, it's still some technique required. Yeah,
no, and also sometimes you feel like the game's going to be over in a few moves, and then when it's not, you get a little bit disappointed. So let's see how he adapts. And Jeffrey scores his first win already, looking good here to qualify.
Yep, Jeffrey gets the first win. He only needs to draw now in the second game.
Yeah, he scores a win. Okay, with black, even better. He's playing white here, very solid. He only needs a draw to be in the semifinals. Let's go back to Andrakin. Okay, h6.
Yeah, so he brings the king over.
Plays h5.
Played.
Bishop b1.
But if you go b3, there might be rook c2, and so he goes bishop b1 for that reason.
Slightly annoying, maybe.
Good though, because how do you defend the pawn? Bishop c5. Wait,
isn't
your rook trapped? Isn't your rook?
Oh, he sacks. Now bishop c3, stabilizing.
Yeah, or just king d2, covering all the
good enough
entry squares. Bishop
c3,
perhaps.
I mean, I was almost preferring the other position for black. This is so depressing, but okay, he's an exchange jump. B4 probably. Bishop
Yeah, I
C4,
would
so the
still
bishop doesn't
definitely,
get blocked.
I'd still definitely prefer white here. Bishop D4, I guess.
Because if I sacrifice, it's just okay. I cannot even take now, but it's a hopeless position. Yeah, the bishop pair is gonna easily win the
Yeah.
endgame if I sacrifice here. Yeah, now A5 is a threat. Probably just A5. Yeah, it's gonna win. No, bishop B3.
Yeah, just push the
Stopping
pawns.
this. Okay, bishop B3. There's no need for that. Just to stop this check.
But it is not that easy to push the pawns because you cannot go B6 because that always hangs. But King A5 now. This looks over.
A5. This is a little bit weird looking. Now
Should
B6.
defend A6 and yeah, B7
And it's
is
over.
coming.
Yeah, B7 and
Oh, he
bishop.
got that move off with 0.1 seconds. Oh, but he
Oh,
hung.
the rook was hanging. Okay.
So yeah, we see Andrakin getting the first win with white, which puts a lot of pressure on Ming Lei. He has to come
Yes.
back now in the second game. So let's see
And
how
look at
he's gonna
this.
do there.
Shigaev has a rook up against Bortnik.
Bortnik's going down.
It's going. Oh, he just lost the knight now. It's over. Yeah, King E6.
Yeah, it's all
Has
over.
to resign. Rook G4. Yeah, good start for Shigaev.
Yeah, so
And
Bortnik
there's
will have to. Bortnik will have to
another
come
rook
back with
endgame.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Bortnik will have to come back with the black pieces, which is always a difficult task.
Wow, he survives here. He's surviving. He was losing apparently a few moves ago, but Perez Ponza survives now. King E6. Now it's a draw. Rook F5. Takes. Wow, nice save here from Perez Ponza. So now we have all the games finished. The first game of each match, and we have 3 wins and a draw. Yeah, Perez Ponza made a draw with Abdusattorov. Shigaev's in the lead. Same thing for Andrakin. And same thing for Jeffrey. Jeffrey's already in his game is already a few moves in. Yeah, 24 moves in already. Yeah. It's like 2 pawns up? No, 1 pawn up. But definitely he'll be qualifying here. He's a winning position and he just needs a draw.
Yeah, he will definitely not lose this one. Black.
Yeah, nice. Definitely not, yes. There's a nice trick
Black
here.
can take on B3 though.
Right away, because if you take it otherwise, Rook D8 wins. Rook B3 is a little trick. Okay, he missed it, or for somehow that was not working for some reason. I don't know why. It looked good.
Now it just looks great for Jeffrey. He's up a pawn. Once again, he only needs to draw. So I don't know.
I mean, unless he blunders something huge here, he's gonna qualify just C6 and just bishop B6 and C7.
Yeah, he's also
thinking
up
a little
on the
bit.
clock. So I think he should be
fine.
fine.
Yeah, this game is he's definitely qualifying, yes, for the semifinals. Yeah, let's see. Andrakin here. Okay, white has to win this position. Very solid here for black. And actually, black is doing fine here because he has great control here of the C file. And white has nothing here. He has the bishop pair, of course, but it's hard to create something here on the queen side, on the king side. Like, can advance the pawns. Plays 94, takes. He's hitting 2 pawns now.
Yeah, not sure if I like what Andrakin just did here. I think he is
Maybe
losing a pawn here, but
maybe he blundered.
He should have good compensation even down a pawn, but it looked like 94 was unnecessary. He could have just maybe played a move like Queen E2.
Yes, just infiltrating there on the center on the queen side. Now you're gonna lose a pawn, or you're getting checkmated. Lose the pawn. Still, black is holding on here, but of course now white is happy to try to win this game.
So queen c6 played. So he's trading the queens, but he will get rook c2 on the next move, going after the white pawn. So he should have sufficient compensation.
Yes,
so let's see how Ming is going to deal with this.
Because how am I going to defend these pawns? Because yeah, exactly. If you take, I'm going to infiltrate here on c2, and it's really hard to find a decent way to play it as white here because black will have the strong 7th rank here
Yeah.
with his
And
rook. And I mean, I don't see a way to stop it because otherwise I'm playing queen c2 anyway. If you move the queen somewhere like queen d3.
exactly. And as we speak, Jeffrey just won the second game, so he's the first player
Wow,
to move on to the semifinals.
that was
But yeah,
fast. Let's
let's.
c6. Yeah, he just won the game. So he's in the semifinals. I think he's playing against either Andrakin or Min, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
he's in the right side of the bracket, yeah. a4 he plays, okay. He wants to hold on with rook b1 and slowly bring his king over. Of course, Andrakin is not going to allow that easily. How did you rook
Yeah,
c2 or just bring
I
the
think
king
rook
over?
c2 is a nice move. Now, white is completely tied down to the first two ranks.
Maybe
But you
the
know, I can
king
go
is coming now. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
He stabilized the
Go.
position. King f3, h4 looks like a nice move. f5, okay, just pushing.
Yeah.
h4,
is like a nice move.
I'll play h3 there, okay.
And maybe at some point, you know, you open up the h file and then you go rook h1. You give up the pawn on b3, but you create your own play on the king's side.
You swing over to the king. Yeah, exactly the point.
Yeah.
Rook h1, bishop e5. He's opening the position here. Bishop e5 maybe, but then g2, f2 is a little bit loose. Yeah, probably the bishop should stay here. Yeah, he sacks the pawn and tries to.
He's looking to push the d pawn now.
Careful
Oh,
with
f4.
Yeah,
That's a nice
f4 is a
move.
move.
Shutting down the bishop. Yeah.
Bishop h2 is not a move you want to make. Now I have to control this. No. Maybe there's no time to do everything I want here.
Bishop d6 perhaps?
Ah, solid move. King e4 then.
Right, and then rook b3.
Yeah, this is good for black actually. Black is starting to, I mean, he wants to win the game. Actually, no, he doesn't need to. But probably black is better after king d3. Rook b3.
Yeah, I'm sure that if Ming will offer a draw, and Draken will just take it within
Definitely.
a second.
Very solid Russian approach. No need to get crazy. Rook b3.
All right.
He can take. But even, yeah, just gf4, yeah, or even rook b4, yeah.
Yeah, I would just go gf. You cannot take on f4 anyway, because then rook b4. So he goes rook d4, but it feels like, is fe a move by any chance?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to make it work, but I think it doesn't work. Oh, there's no rook b4. There's almost e2, right? Before. Yeah. But the bishop is taking the rook.
It's close.
Yeah.
And Ming, by the way, only has 4 seconds, so that's also a factor. Oh, he goes for it, but takes rook d1. What are we?
Rook d3.
Rook d4.
He was...
rook d3. Nice move.
He'll defend the endgame now.
Pawns. Rook d4.
Well, he'll play on. Min will play on.
Right, but is white even better? Is the question.
Yeah. It's not easy to take all these pawns. Not easy at all. Yeah.
Of course, in a dream world, you take all the pawns and push rook and bishop versus rook for 50 moves. But
rook d5 check? Oh, rook e4. You could have played it anyway. You cannot play here. Oh, sorry, you can't. Rook is not here.
I thought he hung the rook for a second, but it was just
me too.
Exactly.
Oh, he forgot about this trade. And he doesn't want to draw now. Do you think he gets a draw? He doesn't accept a draw.
I would just play for a win here with black.
Of course,
because you cannot
there's no risk.
How did Ming not flag? Because he had 1.0 seconds on his clock after that last move.
And Shigaev won both his games 2-0. Wow, look at that.
Bishop. No, but now he also threw the draw. I think he had bishop d8.
Yeah. Oh, Andrakin won. Shigaev won. Perez Ponza is, I don't know what he's trying to do here. He's also a piece down, similar endgame. Rook and bishop against rook, but 3 pawns up for rook c8, rook d6. Careful. Bishop e6. f5 is going for a draw now, or not? He can move the bishop. Okay. Ooh, now he may lose his endgame. Rook c2. He may lose this now.
Yeah, and
why did he play rook e6?
The score is actually equal in this match. So if Abdusattorov loses, he's out. He's
Exactly.
but I feel like he made a mistake here because black gets very active now. So this
Yeah,
might
now
just
it's a
go to a
draw.
bullet. Yeah, it's just a draw. He's just gonna take on e5.
Yeah, now it's a
But
yeah. They simplified
I
already.
feel
Yeah.
like instead of taking the pawn, he should have gone rook to a6.
Yeah, before exactly. Rook a6 was such an attractive move to make. Okay, so now we'll see a tiebreak here. We have
Yep.
between these two players who have a tiebreak now with 1-0 bullets. Good old without increment. 3 players are through to the semifinals, and we'll see Perez Ponza now fighting for that last spot in the semifinals against Nodirbek Abdusattorov from Uzbekistan. They'll play 1-0. Higher seed playing white first, so Abdusattorov is white. And whoever wins qualifies, and if they made a draw, they play another game, and so on. Let's see. So he starts with white. We're definitely going to see this game in a few seconds. We have the game already. C4. Yep. Okay, 2984 his bullet rating, 3120 for his Ponza. Wow. Very impressive bullet rating here for black.
Yeah.
Bishop
He might be the favorite here, to be honest. Because
yeah, he's very experienced. Yeah.
Yeah.
He definitely played some awkward moves already here. You don't play like this with white, yeah?
Yeah, I don't really like what he's done here. And yeah, I know that Abdusattorov is a very, very strong blitz player. I don't know how he fares in bullet. So we'll see. He's up on the clock though, by like 10 seconds. So that is something we have to take into consideration.
Okay, draw is fine actually. Play another game, but he doesn't repeat moves. Takes the bishop. Now probably move the knight somewhere. Why is black with 29 seconds? Where did he spend time? I didn't realize that he was playing so fast. Now probably knight f1, f3 now.
He's speeding up a little bit, but still there's that 10-second
Queen
gap.
c5.
So, queen c5.
He blundered. Oh, that's so painful.
That's the game. That's it. He's just losing
He
the entire
blunders.
house.
Everything falls here. He's gonna. You gotta play here. Gotta take on e3 now, and it's so painful to play this because now it's just a rook down. Yeah.
Yeah, the position just plays itself here for black. Yeah, I think that's it. I think Abdusattorov is gonna get knocked out. But
yeah, okay, he takes a pawn.
Never know.
He takes a pawn. He's gonna take the second pawn. So he doesn't take the pawn. Knight a5. Watch out for knight c6. Oh, knight c6. Careful. Knight b8. Queen c3. Careful. You have to.
I would say it's still anyone's game. Like they both don't have a lot of time.
No, he's surviving. Definitely 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Draw is not enough. He has to win. b5. Oh my god.
Takes the pawn.
Queen c5. 8 seconds.
But it looks like Perez Ponza is pre-moving and.
Ooh, he allowed b7. What is this? Oh, he takes the rook. Wow. It seems like Abdusattorov is not so. Oh my god, f4, 3 seconds, 1 second.
Make it 2
There's
seconds.
No increment.
There's no take. Oh no, he's
like checkmated.
He checkmated him with 0.2 seconds. Yeah. Oh my god.
Wow,
I feel like
that demanded some skills. Some skills that to win that game. Wow. So he qualifies.
Like if he didn't, yeah.
I mean, at some point, Abdusattorov was playing slow, but then he was super fast at the end. Super fast. Both players were very fast. And we have the bracket for the semifinals already. We have Perez Ponza here qualifying. This crazy game to play against Maxim Shigaev from Russia in the semifinals, and Andreikin in the other side of the bracket playing against Jeffrey Xiong. It's important to remember this is the 3rd week of the Speed Chess Grand Prix, and we have the 4th week, the last event next week, October 9, always at the same time here. So we will go to a quick break here, and then we'll come back with the semifinals. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the semifinals of the Speed Chess Grand Prix. We have Perez Ponza play against Shigaev, and then Jeffrey Zhang play against Andrekin. We saw some very exciting quarterfinals, but I'm sure the semifinals will be even more exciting. Krikor, what is your take on these upcoming matches?
Well, I think Shigaev is, if he watched the last game, he will be scared to go into the tie breaks against Perez Ponza. He definitely showed his abilities there in a bullet chess, and we have the players on camera also for this semifinals. I think, yeah, they start in a few moments. Maxim Shigaev will play against Federico Perez Ponce now. Same story. It's 2 games, 3+1.
Yeah, we're going to be joined by the players, which should always be very exciting. You guys can see their emotions as they play. And, in Blitz Chess, there's always a lot happening. So should be a lot of fun. And yeah, I think we're going to start pretty shortly.
Yeah, Maxim Shigaev there will have, I think he'll have maybe the white pieces, actually. I don't know who did best in the first part of the event. I don't remember, actually. I think we'll have Shigaev with white. That's my guess.
Shigaev, yeah, because I think Perez Ponza was the last one to make it into the bracket.
Okay, no, he has white, actually. Okay, Perez also has white. And they play the 4 knights with d4. Ooh, knight e4.
Yeah, this is a tricky sideline. Yeah, I think you capture on e4, and then there's like queen e7. So black is not actually just hanging a piece. He will get it back, but
yeah, because if you take, then queen e7. Okay, took on c6, took on c3, took on d8, took on d1, knight f7. Apparently, white was trying to remember this line, but definitely black is not worse here. Just everything just got exchanged. Okay, bishop c4 check. He has a slight initiative here, but I mean the king will be on d1, so maybe king. Where's this king going?
Yeah, good question. And bishop c4, very nice move, getting that one in first before black goes d5. Because now black's king is also slightly exposed on g6. He goes
c6 but not d5.
To go d5 indeed to
you gotta
shut
check
down
again.
the bishop.
Otherwise, d5, bishop f5. I'm starting to prefer black's position here. Okay, played it. Oh, there's rook e6. Ah, he had rook e6. Tricky, right?
Rook e6.
I mean, bishop d3. If you played bishop f5, covering the check.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That was the trick. Yeah. So okay,
but
he played there.
I would say this position is approximately equal. Both sides have 2 rooks, 2 bishops. Neither side have any weaknesses, so this might just fizzle out into a draw, and then it's all gonna come down in the second game. But let's watch what's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll have the players there on camera. That is Ponza here, just below my camera, and Shigaev right next to him, Maxim Shigaev from Russia. So they're playing 3+1, back to the same time control. In case of 1-1, then they play the bullet tiebreaker. But this is very equal. Yeah. Probably g6, and then take, and rook e8, just take everything.
I think eventually everything is going to get traded on the e-file. And yeah, I think as you mentioned earlier, I feel like Perez Ponza should be a favorite in the bullet portion. We saw him, showcasing that speed in the match against Abdusatrov. And actually, Federico offered a draw earlier in the game, but Kangaskei declined. So he feels like he has a slight advantage here.
He feels he has something here with white. The king's on c2. He maybe is doubling on the e file. He has bishop d4. He can maybe march with those pawns. King c2 now looks safe.
Yeah.
c5 is not really a problem. Bishop a4 does nothing, I believe. f4, rook e5, right? You gotta be careful.
F4, rook e5 would be a nasty trick, yeah.
So with king c2, doesn't fall for that. Bishop f6.
Yeah, nice move, trading off that active bishop on e5.
Bishop d4 is trying to somehow change the character of the position, because if you take, then you can argue that, you know, these pawns are in light squares. Maybe white is slightly better. Actually, it's comfortable for white if you take. If it doesn't take, makes more sense.
Right. So maybe a4, a5 now could be a plan, and that's what he's going
But there's
for.
some c5 happening right now.
There's c5, yeah, and you hit the pawn on a4. That'd be a nice
Yeah.
tactic. He's probably
but
yeah, c5 now looks good.
yeah, but then after you take, how's this? And king, whatever, king, their king is out of good squares, maybe. Yeah, maybe c5. He's thinking.
Yeah.
He's trying to put some pressure here with white. Doesn't want to allow this draw easily.
Yeah. And Perez Ponza is also up on the clock, by the way. That's not a huge factor since they're in the end game, but you never know.
Yeah, played c5. Now probably if you take there, then of course bishop a4. There's also rook c8 right away, which is maybe even better, right?
Yeah, so he takes on c5. Rook c8 looks like a nice move. White has to go bishop b4 now to defend the pawn on c3. And I guess then black's going to take on a4 with a comfortable position.
Yeah, because then white lost this nice grip he had on the center with bishop d4. Oh, the bishop ac. Yeah. Bishop c3 is a move, maybe? Is that a move?
It is a move, yeah, because if you take, there's d4. But I feel like it's... I mean, there's also rook e7 check in case you take. So I would just take on a4, and I would say that black always has the potential to be better because you have that outside passer.
Okay, but rook a1 is coming in the other hand. Bishop g5. Oh, the king is... Oh, now you're rook e8. It's tricky.
Yeah, so he trades the rooks. Good job. And now, yeah, once again, he has this outside passer. So if anyone's better, it's got to be black.
Bishop a3. Now he'll prepare maybe bishop b3, bishop c4, and then try to advance his pawn somehow. Yeah, the bishop end games are tricky. Sometimes you're 3 versus 3, but then you have something going on and there's no counterplay whenever you have only one bishop of each color. If you have 2 bishops, then there's some more tricks. Bishop a6, he stops any advance at all. Okay, little weird move, but okay, makes sense. Plays king e6. Bishop f8 has to go back probably.
Yeah.
52 seconds for him versus 16 seconds. Probably bishop a3 has to. Oh, he's happy with a draw apparently. Oh, white wants to play on.
Right, I guess he's banking on his time advantage, but I feel like nothing can really happen here to black.
Isn't this annoying? Bishop c4?
Yeah, bishop c4 is an annoying threat, yeah.
And bishop f1 in case you play. Oh, then you can play f4 because bishop c8 is a trick.
Exactly. Yeah.
So maybe king. Okay, f4 right away. Isn't this tricky? Okay, he wants to play f5 then. G6, stopping that. Bishop d3
now.
Yeah, bishop c4 now. I'll try.
Doesn't go for it.
c4 again. I mean, yeah. Okay, just try it. King d2 probably.
I feel like it should be a draw, but if anyone's better, it's definitely black.
It's tricky for white here.
Yeah.
Okay, the king is going to h4.
Oh, h5, great move. He's fixing the weakness on h4.
White should play h5 himself. Right. Oh, bishop f2 now is annoying.
Exactly.
King e4 probably gotta go. Bishop d8, king d5. We will try.
Yeah, but you take on h4 and you go bishop g3 and just send this pawn forward. I don't think you can stop it.
Just okay. Bishop g3 was much more logical. Yeah.
But now you bring the king back. Isn't this a draw?
Oh, it's a it's a bad square.
King g4. King g4. This should be a draw. Yeah.
H3.
You just take and yeah, this is just a draw.
King e2. Oh, but he had the bishop g3 and just take on f4. Yeah. Now it's a draw.
Yeah, he missed his chance there, definitely. But it's going to be a draw now, so it's all going to be decided in game 2 or an eventual bullet tiebreak. Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah, Shigeru with white now. He plays d4, c4, playing main lines here with white. Queen's pawn, e6, knight f3. We'll see a queen's gambit decline and a Catalan.
Yeah, so a bit more of a solid approach from Perez Ponza. We saw him playing the King's Indian against Abdusatov earlier.
Ah, displaying this line with the b5, right? So bishop f4. I think
And
there was this move with b5, right? A b bishop b7 after knight bd2 or something. There was this theory, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm not sure I really like this approach from Perez Ponza, because you can easily end up in a position where you're slightly worse without any real winning chances. But
Yeah,
on the
just
other hand,
take now.
it is pretty solid.
Knight d2, isn't this? Oh, queen c4 right away. Okay, it's good. I thought knight d2 was better. Okay, knight d2, okay, kind of transposes. Because
So
this is
black
a
has
major, major problem for white to have this pawn on a4, of course. If you had it on a2, could be very annoying for black. b3, rook c1. But with this pawn here, whenever I can play rook b8, of course I cannot now. The white won't be able to put any pressure here. But he's attacking on c5. Yeah. It's trying something.
Black has the split pawns on a6 and c6, but on the other hand, the pawn on b2 is also vulnerable. But isn't he just hanging a pawn here? Why can you not take on c6? What am I missing?
I don't know. Looks very good and clean here. Just queen takes c6. He played it. Queen h5. Looks like a tricky idea, but okay. He's hitting e2, knight g4. But what about queen f3? Then knight g4.
Yeah, he's playing for tricks here, but I feel like it shouldn't really work, to be
Knight
honest.
f3?
Like,
why not knight f3?
And knight f3 or queen f3 both look great.
Knight g4 looks very superficial. Yeah, should not work. Yeah, king g2 next, h3.
Yeah,
and this is not queen h3. Looks way too much. Yeah, trying to create some attack here, but they just probably king g2 no.
Yeah, I like king g2 going h3 on the next move.
E5 then? Some weird stuff like that.
Yeah, that's still tricky, yeah.
Yeah, 150 for white. 2 minutes here for black. Has a time advantage. He has a clean pawn down, but okay, he has some ideas here. He has some ideas.
Yeah.
On the king side. What's the cleanest way here?
Taking his time here. He's getting a bit behind on the clock, but if he finds a good continuation here, it might be worth it.
Queen e4 maybe? Is that running into something? I don't know. It's a weird move also.
Queen e4 could be a good move as well, centralizing the queen.
Yeah. Yeah, Valky will try something with e5 here.
Yeah.
Somehow, but it's not easy. Well, under a minute for white now.
Yeah,
it's delicate.
That could make things quite tricky, yeah. Because he's doing great. He's up a pawn, and I feel like black should not have sufficient compensation. But as you mentioned, he's getting way behind on the clock, and that could be very dangerous.
Okay, he goes for this concrete move, bishop d6. That's interesting because you attack the rook. Also, you're stopping this e5 idea. Maybe bishop c7, no? Because this rook is hanging, so bishop c7 would force an awkward move, and then queen b7 maybe just kind of locking everything there. I don't know. Taking g2. Gotta be watching for some tricks, but doesn't work. Yeah, some checks here. Like if there was a queen on c4. Rook c8, probably just take.
Yeah. So
okay, now that is plus is thinking also.
I feel like black's running out of tricks. I don't really see what he can do, to be honest. Like h3 is going to be white's next move. And I feel like all sorts of sacrifices on f2 shouldn't really work. So
and white has a clear plan. b4, b5. Yeah, he goes kind of all in here. h3 was the idea. Gonna take on f2.
Probably stack.
Queen g6 or something. Yeah, but it doesn't work. Bishop e5 at the end. I mean, he has to take on f2, right?
Yeah, he has to take an f2 and then take an h3.
But then bishop e5 looks so solid for white. Yeah, he's not scared. I could have played. No, that was too much. I was thinking about g4 instead of king f2. But then king g6.
But then queen g6, exactly. Yeah.
So hitting the bishop. Oh, a8 is hanging. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Ooh,
might have
that
missed
was
that, to
almost a
be
trick.
honest.
Yeah, okay, he's still playing, of course. White is winning here. He has, oh, actually, Black doesn't have any pawns for
Yeah,
this two pieces against Rook, but White's king is a little bit awkward. There are
exposed.
no
Yeah,
pawns here, a little bit exposed. Yeah, Queen F4 maybe.
but maybe move like G4 could be great and trying to shut out the queen on H3.
And that would be very smart. G4. Yeah, Queen E6. Go
Queen
Bishop
E6
C3
also.
is not possible because of the E2 pawn. Now he prepares Bishop C3, stabilize everything. Still Rook C4.
But
He's
then,
finding tricks here.
yeah, Rook C4. Yeah,
Yeah, he's finding tricks. He's a
and
very dangerous player. Now Rook C4. Queen E5. Ah, that's a very good practical decision, I guess.
I
The
agree.
endgame should be.
Oh, but take on C3. Take on C3 now.
Oh, he blundered.
Yeah, you should take on the bishop. If you take on C3 now, it's just equal. Yeah, and he
Oh,
goes for it.
he.
Oh,
I don't know if Federico was watching the camera, but he clearly gave out himself there. Shigev, he just made a face there when he realized
yeah.
he had blundered. He should have taken with the bishop. Yeah,
And I would definitely take black here. I mean, look at
me
white's
too.
pawns. Like A4 can be weak, C4 can be weak,
Ooh,
G3
Rook
can be
E4.
weak, but it
Oh,
should
but
be a
that.
draw. You just go, yeah,
But A5 is a relief for White, I think. Yeah, I thought he
yeah.
would keep the Rook there with G6, try to work this position, but he wants to win definitely. Yeah.
This should be
King
a draw,
F3.
but
Yeah, but it's
I would
Black is.
still pick black maybe. Because
I
you
will.
just
I'll
advance.
still.
Oh,
Yeah, F5. Had
Rook
a. That
A2
was
is
a
now
move for
tricky because
Black.
what are you, Rook A2, what are you playing? Yeah,
Gotta give the
E4,
E4.
check. And take, but you
Rook
have Rook
E8.
E8, Rook E8,
That's a
yeah.
That's a clean draw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not gonna get in trouble
It's,
here. He'll play
yeah,
on,
it's
of
just,
course,
right.
but it's a very simple draw here. 2 versus. Ooh,
What?
what was that? Did he pre-move Rook E5?
Did he pre-move Rook E5? Like, what was that?
Why would he do that?
Oh, what?
Wow, he lost the game. He's out.
And we see the
Wow,
reaction from
and
the
she
players.
gave
They're like, oh my God.
and Shigev is very surprised
It's crazy.
to these events because I mean, after all, you just survived a nice Rook game, and he just here.
Yeah.
He just played Rook E5 here. Yeah, he pre-moved probably. I didn't see, but probably it was probably a pre-move. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was all the explanation.
it's insane.
Yeah, it's a simple draw here. Shigev would have made a draw. They would go into the bullet, but that didn't happen. That is Ponza blunders the Rook, probably in a misclick, in a pre-move there, in a unfortunate situation. And now we have the other semifinals. Semifinals to be played now with Jeffrey against Dmitry and Draken. So we see Shigev in the finals. Nice.
Yeah, he definitely got lucky there. Because also I feel like Perez Ponza would have probably been the favorite in the bullet, but it happens. So now we're gonna have a look at Jeffrey Zhang against Draken. I think if Jeffrey wins this match, I think he qualifies to the main event.
Probably, it's possible.
It's already very difficult to catch him right now, but I feel like if he wins this one, the math there's just no way anyone can catch him.
Yeah, because one of his opponents is actually Dmitry himself. Yeah, his opponent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here in this position, he played 95, which was not a good move. He had to take with the bishop. And here, white is better, but of course, black will fight on here. Fight quite a lot because white pawns are so bad here that black has a decent chance, I think, to survive. So yeah, now we're waiting to see the other match between Jeffrey Zhang, one of the best junior players in the whole world, against a very experienced Dmitry Andreikin, who was already, I think his best score in his career was probably second place in the World Cup. He played the candidates. He played with a good score in the candidates. I think he scored like 50%, which is very impressive in a tournament like that. And he also very experienced blitz player too. So I think Dimitri is the favorite here, not by a wide margin, not at all. Jeff is super strong. They have similar ratings, but let's see here. We have the games going. We have the players on camera. We have Jeffrey showing here right below my camera, and we have Dimitri and Draken right next to him. They're playing like a similar line that Andrekin played, right, in the first or second round against Razulov, maybe. Yeah. Okay,
Wait,
this
so
is theory.
is some sort of line, but wait, they're blitzing out the moves.
They pre-moved h takes g5, yeah.
Apparently, this is all theory. Both players seem very comfortable with what they're doing.
Yeah.
So white
Knight
has a
c7
rook and a pawn for a knight and a bishop. So
and the
in
pawn.
terms
There's a
of
pawn up for extra pawn for white also, yeah.
yeah. So in terms of material, it's equal, but it all comes down whether black can, stabilize. Because then I feel like the minor pieces should be better than the rook.
Yeah, he wants to try to
So
open up the position. Black's position is not completely safe, but it's not easy to attack. He plays c5, and wow, I mean, their theory ended a while ago, but they're still playing super fast. c5 is a very concrete move.
yeah, you open up your own king a little bit. So yeah, very interesting position. I think it should be approximately equal. I feel like it's really anyone's game. So yeah, let's see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I've seen Jeffrey do like stuff like that sometimes. Like just he's well prepared and he just blitz out like 25, 30 moves going to this crazy position. And it's something I don't see like Andrekin do too much. He's very experienced player. He wants to play some like things that are not very theoretical in blitz especially, but he's in a
But can't
fight
Jeffrey
here.
just couldn't he take on g2 and take on d4? Wasn't that just
Yeah, there are many
king pawn?
things I don't understand. Yeah, I could have taken the pawn.
Yeah.
Apparently
But he goes
he
rook b8.
yeah, because a8 was defended, right? Exactly.
Right, yeah, it was defended twice by both the knights.
Yeah, otherwise rook b6 would be a move, yeah.
And
Okay, rook
we should
b8.
add that Jeffrey is up a minute on the clock.
Yeah,
could be a factor
2:38.
later on.
Yeah.
So it's clear that Andrekin is not sure what he should do. Okay, so they trade on g2.
Queen takes. What about cd now? Then a5.
CD then a5, you lose c4, and then your king can get a bit exposed.
Yeah, again, that's possible actually. Queen a4 is too much.
The queen a4 is also a move.
DC,
sure, Andrekin
maybe.
has something cooked up there. I don't know exactly what.
There's rook a1, yeah, some stuff like that. So.
Right, yeah.
Rook a1, I don't know how good is that. Then rook a7. So yeah, now Jeffrey's thinking for the first time in the game, spending some time. He's trying to calculate something, looking up, a5, knight d5.
Yeah,
He almost pre-moved that.
b8, and yeah, he has to get the pawn back on c4.
Wow, d3, super fast still. Very complicated position. Queen e4, what's that? Queen e4, d2, yeah, or
yeah, I feel like it all depends whether the d pawn can stay on the board. If the d pawn drops off, white should be a lot better because black's king is exposed and white has a couple pawns. But if that pawn stays on the board, it might just, promote
win
to a
the
queen.
game.
Yeah,
exactly. Because there's this 4 against 2 on the king side, so white really wants to take that pawn. Rook d4, careful move. Ooh, this is scary, but apparently, but queen b5, queen e4, he's believing in this. Apparently there's some, knight c3 is there. Oh, then mate. Ooh.
But then rook d8, yeah.
It's mate in one,
yeah.
Otherwise there was this fork, yeah. Queen c6.
Queen c6.
Can't I just take?
If you take, there's queen c1 and you lose the knight.
Ooh, the knight is hanging. Tricky, Jeffrey. What about now? Queen f1, maybe. Queen f1.
Yeah, queen f1, yeah. He has to address queen f1. Nice, fine.
Very calm move. He finds it. Queen f1.
Yeah.
Yeah, knight b4. What's happening on knight b4? Then rook d8 again. Okay.
The knight before, then rook d8, and you lose the bishop.
You lose the bishop. Yeah.
So
Bishop
bishop
e7
e7
up.
played.
He's just
Knight.
annoying. Every single move is just
Exactly.
annoying for white. H4 maybe? But now the knight
Before
is
knight
saying,
b4.
yeah. Rook
Queen
b4 maybe? No.
b1. But queen b1, how do you hang on to the knight?
Knight
Because knight
d6.
d6.
He's threatening the knight. Queen c3 probably now, yeah? He takes.
Yeah, but
ED?
Andraken has no time. He has 15 seconds against Jeffrey's
Oh, he did knight
120.
d5. And black
Yeah.
stabilizes.
Yeah,
What,
no,
what about
95,
now?
great move. Because both
I don't
knights
see a
are
trick here.
defended. D6 is gonna drop off. I think Jeffrey might just go ahead and win this game. Just take on D6.
Yeah, very impressive. I mean, considering their styles, I was very surprised to see like Andraken go into this theory battle against Jeffrey in a blitz game. Queen
Well, but he
d4
had
was
queen
nice.
d4. He had queen d4, hitting both the pawns.
Yeah, those
Then
pawns
it
are
would
very
have been,
important.
yeah. I feel like there
Yeah,
it would have
queen
been
e6.
anyone's game.
It's still
It's
not
still
totally
not
over. Yeah.
Because if you go queen d4, you hang.
Queen
But now queen
b7?
b7, you cannot take because of knight
Oh,
f4 and you lose
tricky.
the house.
Gotta take king f3, but this is
King
just over.
a6. I feel like
King a6
black's
should.
a pawn is just gonna run way too fast.
Yeah, very. Yeah, very unfortunate for Andraken here.
Yeah.
King a6 probably. G5, knight a7. Black should be on time, yeah. G5, king e4 now. King e5 is trying to find something, but the a pawn is so fast here.
Yeah.
It's
A4,
probably a4.
you always queen with check.
Knight f4 is just safe, yeah.
Just take an h5, yeah.
King g6, a3, this is way too
Just
slow
push.
here.
Yeah.
And we'll see a win here for Jeffrey Xiong. Very impressive win.
Yeah.
King c5.
So that means
You
Andraken
take.
will have to try to come back with the black pieces.
He's smiling there. Almost there.
Yeah.
But not enough. Yeah, he has to win somehow.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, he probably, yeah. Okay, he had his chance in the game. But I mean, I think the situation that he put himself in with a worse clock situation actually was very, it hurted his chances definitely. So
Yeah, and like you said, I feel like that was not exactly to Andraken's style to play like that. He's going for this very dodgy line with queen b6 where you take the pawn, but white gets a lot of development. So I guess he feels like he has to unbalance the position somehow, but this is quite risky, of course.
yeah. Okay, he tries to close everything with d5, but I mean, of course, white will play castle and c4 at some point, and there's compensation here. For sure, there's compensation. There's so much development here for white.
But once again, the approach makes sense because Jeffrey has to prove the compensation, right? And if he is not precise, then he could just be down a pawn.
Yeah, and he's just playing again fast here. But black's 91. Wow, queen e7 now maybe.
Yeah, queen e7 looks like a nice move. Bring the queen back.
Queen h5 is an idea, but what is this knight going?
Yeah.
That was a little bit of an awkward move from Jeffrey, I think. Okay, he wants to cd now because.
Yeah. Because you don't really want to recapture the e pawn because then f5 is always going to be very weak.
But there's no way to stop it. Yeah, have to take with e pawn.
Take? Why didn't he take?
Yeah, but I mean, he wants to play with bishop d6 and maybe try to bring the knight over somewhere. He was not very impressed with the c1 idea. Yeah, and check is not really annoying, I think. The king will be kcd, d.
But yeah, I feel like taking is still the way to go because pawn f5 is always going to be weak. And you go g3, knight g2, you cement the entire king side, and then you play positionally from there. H6.
Yeah, Jeffrey's playing super confident. Look at this clock. Yeah, 2:28.
Yeah.
King
Still,
g7.
he is down a pawn, so Andraken has something to show for
to hang on to. Yeah. Knight d7. Now knight f8. I mean, even if you bring the knight to g6, a4, yeah, he just wants to put the pressure. Yeah. Let's remind that Jeffrey's leading the Grand Prix here with 27 points. And Andrakin has 8 right now. So it's a big difference. Andrakin has to win here. Of course, he's looking at to win the KO today, but if he wants a shot at the Speed Chess Championship spot, he has to win this game, no matter what.
Yeah, I think if he wants to have a chance, he needs to win this one and then win next week as well. And then it might still not be enough because Jeffrey is already guaranteed at least 8 points from this one.
Right.
But he is doing a really good job in this game. I think he's stabilized quite well. Maybe rook e8 defending that pawn. Or rook
I thought you
g7.
played rook g7 and knight g6 and try to exchange them. Yeah, because white doesn't have a clear target here. Even though f5 is weak, it's not really easy to attack this pawn the way the pieces are.
He could take another pawn here if he wants to. He could take on f4 and then take with the queen because the g pawn is pinned.
You're right. Yeah, but then knight c5 and queen c7, you can just stay there. But he keeps his bishop alive. Wants to do the same, of course, with his bishop would be much better.
White has to slide the king over now. He goes knight g2.
Yeah, king h1 was f4 now.
f4, yeah, would have been a nice
f4
move.
Looked f4 again, right? No, yeah, f4 is also nice here.
Yeah, it's a pawn sack, but then you can bring out your bishop to f5. So yeah, that would be a very nice move. He goes queen h3. That looks off.
Sure. Weird move.
Ideas.
Yeah, probably he missed that f4 idea. Otherwise, it was very comfortable for black to just open your bishop.
Maybe he thought he had time for h5, h4, but knight e3, knight f4 is coming pretty quickly, and you'll just get your own queen trapped.
Yeah, he's not very happy now. He probably have to go back, and then knight d3. He has to go back. He'll have to go back to d6 once again.
Yeah,
bishop d6, rook b2.
But now it looks pretty comfortable for Jeffrey because black is very much stuck here. Let's see what he can do.
b6 is a threat now. Nice spot there. Yeah, spotted there quickly. But okay, he defends. Queen c3 for some tactical ideas. Again, queen c5. I'll still have rook a8. Of course, repeating is good for Jeffrey.
There. Okay, so Andrakin cannot take the draw here because that would just knock him out. But it looks
he has to deal with rook queen c5.
Unpleasant.
Yeah, queen h3 was not a good move, definitely.
Yeah,
queen c5.
I feel like he was
rook a8 then.
Queen c5. Rook a8. Maybe you can sack
on b7. Bishop g3 then is that idea. Gotta be careful.
Oh, bishop g3.
And bishop h2. Yeah. b7 is. Now f4 again. Isn't that okay? b7 was kind of hanging. I want to play f4 here so badly. Because suddenly black
nice move to bring out that bishop.
Yeah, and also the time now is getting closer. Of course, still 45 seconds, 24. But now Jeffrey could get into a time trouble as well. Even b
exactly,
can't play b.
Time's evening up.
b5 isn't b5 a move now? No, probably not. It was this weird idea with b5. Okay, queen b3, queen g7, c1, queen e7. He's coordinating his pieces. Bishop a3. A little bit. Okay, bishop e6. Finally, the bishop develops.
Yeah.
Not to a brilliant square, but it's in the game, and he has this major pawn majority here on the queen side. Queen b6 hitting the rook.
You keep hanging on here with black, and maybe at some point you go knight f8 to he takes, but rook takes, you're just losing a5.
He didn't see that probably.
Rook d7 just take an a5, and black is just busted. Like this position is just terrible, honestly.
Yeah, he'll try some counterplay here, but queen b3 is very annoying move here. Queen b3. He's still queen d2. He wants to trap this queen somehow. Queen d2, he'll try.
Yeah. Objectively, it might be better to keep the queens on, but I feel like he knows that if he trades the queens, he can never lose.
Oh, he doesn't want to draw Jeffrey. Wow. Why didn't he repeat?
Or maybe he thought this was better. Yeah. But
Possibly, yeah.
now,
Can
yeah.
it take on b7? Probably queen c4,
Um,
rook b7.
Rook a8 now, and now you just push the a pawn. It's just gonna be too fast because you have this bishop on f3 supporting it.
Knight e3, this is a
Knight
nightmare, yeah.
f5,
King g2,
f4,
f4, take knight g6, okay, rook f4, bishop d5, and this is gonna be it, I think.
Yeah, I don't
Jeffrey,
see black ever winning this. I think white's just winning. F6 is taking f6 and
it's
it's
mate
checkmate.
now, yeah. Wow, so
So
Jeffrey
he wins. He
qualifies
moves
here
on
to the
to the
finals,
final,
and I think he
yeah, I
qualifies to
think
the Speeches championship.
yeah, I think he qualifies to the Speed Chess Championship. Amazing performance by him. He got second in the first week, won last week's event, and now he guaranteed himself at least second, which would be another 12 points. So I don't think, yeah, no one can catch him. So yeah, big congrats to Jeffrey. He should be qualifying.
Yeah, exactly. So, and also we'll be seeing him play against Maxim Shigaev from Russia in a few minutes here. And this is the standings. Yeah, 27 points for Jeffrey, and he's at least going to, worst case, going to 39 already, and definitely nobody can catch him. Yeah, the other players are in there. Maxim Shigaev, his opponent in the finals, I think didn't score well in the other weeks. So that's it. We're gonna take one last short break, and then we'll see the finals between Maxim Shigaev from Russia and Jeffrey Shang from the United States to see who's going to win the third week of the Speed Chess Grand Prix. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few minutes. title players will get one last shot at a spot in the Speed Chess Championship during the Speed Chess Super Swiss. Make sure to tune in on October 16 and 17 for the 15-round Swiss and knockout tournament starting at 10 a.m. Pacific on Chess TV. It's going to be another event, so they can try to get that great spot on the Speed Chess Championship after this Speed Chess Grand Prix that we're having the third week already. And we're heading to the next week, the last event, and we have Maxim Shigaev here playing against Jeffrey Xiong on the finals today to see who's getting that great $1,000 bonus of the KO win and also the 15 Grand Prix points. We have the games going. The first game going already. We have accepted Queen's Gambit. And Jeffrey has black. Yeah, Maxim Shigaev has white in the first game. And see a very
very solid choice by Jeffrey. I guess he wants to just play it solid with black and then go for the win with white. So yeah, we're gonna see how this game is gonna unfold.
So what is this rook e1 move? You want to take with the e pawn? You want to isolate the pawn? Okay, e4 no.
So, or push for e4 as he just did. But pushing e4 is always a bit double-edged because if you go e5, the pawn can be weak, but it also gives you a space advantage. Queen d4 is not a move I like because I feel like the endgame should be comfortable for black.
Yeah, just take and probably bishop b7 or something.
Yeah, no, that's what I would think. Yeah, or bishop b7 right away.
Yeah, once the queen is here, probably you have to exchange it. Question is if I want to improve your knights or not. Actually, because then I will play f3 and bishop e3. So probably bishop b7 is a little bit more accurate. Okay, he played like that. Looks very comfortable, very solid for black too. We have Maxim Shigaev there, right below my camera, and Jeffrey Xiong next to him. He plays e5. Okay, allowing that f5, but then probably I will play check. I could consider taking at some point.
So e5 also opens up the e6 square for the bishop. I feel like it still should be approximately equal. So yeah, I feel like Jeffrey is probably quite satisfied with the outcome of the opening.
Yeah, he can play, develop the bishop. He played bishop e6. Yeah, because bishop b7 wouldn't be too nice now with the pawn on e4, the pawn on f3, controlling that diagonal. So he goes with knight d7 now, maybe. Knight c6,
or
okay.
knight c6 as he just played. Knight d2. And we see Federico actually offer the draw. See if Jeffrey will take it. Now he plays on knight d7. That's what we
Jeffrey
like to
plays
see.
on, yeah. Yeah, it's always comfortable to refuse a draw with black, yeah, in like 15 moves. It's good for his moral.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah, bishop c5 he wants to play next, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And I feel like it's not easy for white to come up with a plan here. And black's position feels pretty comfortable. Knight c5 also a move. The knights on c2 and d2 are slightly awkward. Goes g3.
Yes. Knight b3 is also not a very nice move too. So he plays g3, goes for bishop c5, wants to play king e7 next. The knights can be jumping here and there here on the queen side, maybe.
Yeah, maybe move like a4 from white to try to target the pawns on the queen side there and potentially create some squares.
In case of b4, then you'll play what, a5 maybe?
Yeah, or just go bishop c4, for example, trade off those bishops and establish a knight on c4.
Then okay, he played a3. A little bit passive
very
there.
Timid.
Yeah, probably king e7 now.
Yeah, king e7 played by Jeffrey.
King. Yeah, this is slightly more annoying for white already. Yeah. And look at the time, 140 for Jeffrey, 50 seconds for.
Yeah, and Jeffrey's almost up a minute on the clock. But the position is pretty even, not too much going on. So the fact that he's up a minute on the clock is not the end of the world for Shigaev.
But take a knight b6.
Yeah,
How do
that's
you
what I would, yeah, trade knight b6.
then probably rook somewhere? Try to double rook c2 maybe. Yeah, rook c2 maybe. There's a knight
Yeah.
d4 then. Yeah, he takes.
So does he take with the knight or with the king? Because if you take with the knight, then black can always go knight d4.
Yeah,
But
but with the
if you take
king
with
is so passive.
uh,
Okay, he went. He
yeah,
pre-moved knight b6 anyway.
4,
f4, f6, knight f3,
f3,
trying to create an idea there. On
bishop
e5, bishop
c4.
c4. He wants to
So he wants to
infiltrate
get
with
a
a
knight
knight.
to c4. Bishop
Exactly.
h3, rook d8, rook
Rook d3 is
d1,
an idea.
knight e1 looks very passive.
Knight d4 or something. I don't know. He plays knight d4.
Nice move. I guess you have to take as knight b3 is a major threat. Forking the rooks.
Oh, he took
Takes
to the
the
pawn.
pawn.
I don't take the rook.
Surprising. Yeah, I don't know. I
I
guess he
take with
wants
the rook.
to unbalance the position a little bit. Maybe a5 and put pressure on the
Oh
queen
yeah, but
side.
it was so comfortable to take with the rook. Surprising. Okay, d3.
d3. So, let's see. Knight
Knight
g2,
g2
nice
is
move. He wants to go
knight
knight
c4 is an
e3.
idea. Like if I can move this bishop somewhere to prepare knight c4. I don't know how to evaluate that position, but probably I will stop knight c4. Yeah, knight e3.
Yeah, but you also have rook c7, so that's a downside of moving the bishop.
Right. So like there. Yeah, that's why I didn't like ed4. I mean, white could be better now at some point. Knight e3.
Yeah, it
Start hitting this
gets the
bishop.
imbalance now, and also Jeffrey's getting low on the clock, so it's gonna be time
He
scramble.
allows.
So check.
He allows check. But then king
But
d6
now,
maybe. Yeah. I'm
uh,
not so sure. Yeah, not sure.
but now you can
Because
give a
like
check, and in case white takes, you recapture with the b pawn, I guess, and those two pawns can always be pretty strong for black.
and then a5 trying to open up. Yeah, that's possible. Knight c4.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a committal
And
decision,
Jeffrey
but it
goes
looks
for it.
good. a5 probably
A5.
no. Yeah, you wanna
A5.
try to destroy the
Yeah.
structure. a5, good.
Very
a4,
nicely played
nice
by
if I
Jeffrey.
or maybe just
Yeah. Should you want, but you take. Maybe there's some trick for black.
A
To
B
the
now.
rook. Okay,
Weird
you
end game.
capture.
Yeah, but it's not that simple. The
Rook
king's going to
d4.
c3 now.
Okay,
He
take
sacks the pawn. Rook e1 now.
have a rook e1, nice move. F5, but you
Oh,
take
rook e1.
rook e1.
You
Oh,
lose
nice
everything
move.
now.
And now, yeah, you lose all the pawns, it looks like.
Like the three of
Okay,
them.
2, but you take. And you
Okay,
also got to
take
take on
h2.
c4. Wait, and
1
Jeffrey's
second
in
for
trouble. He
Jeffrey.
also has no time. Take. Rook d.
Okay,
But rook g2 now. Rook g2, and it's a draw. King, yeah.
check
Just go back and
b5.
forth.
Okay, doesn't even want to try. Yeah.
Okay,
Very
yeah.
conservative. Yeah, I thought white was going to try somehow there, but it was not possible apparently.
So,
Okay, so they
yeah,
go
first
for
game.
a King's Indian.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what line Chugayev's going to choose. He goes for knight a6 and c6. Jeffrey
Takes. Apparently,
trades.
this is all theory. Yeah. Rook d1. He's playing very fast. Rook e8. How's this?
Yeah, rook e8, I guess. Yeah. So Jeffrey is, I guess, confident in his ability to outplay Shugayev in these sorts of endgames. c5, I guess bishop f8 has to be played now to go after the pawn.
Knight d2, now knight c4.
Yeah, this should be pretty comfortable for white, I would say. You have more space, black is slightly cramped. You go knight f4, but it doesn't really do much. So knight d2.
Yeah, this is
bishop
official
f1.
usually, I think. Knight c4 now.
Yeah.
Knight c4 is definitely annoying because if you have to give the bishop, you're definitely worse. And if not, you have to deal with some ideas, and this is not fun for black, definitely.
Yeah, and we see Jeffrey playing very fast, almost up a minute on the clock. Knight c4, knight d6 looks great. He's playing super fast. He almost pre-moved that.
It's like
a lot of pressure here.
Like it's in his preparation, and definitely it's not. Rook d2 maybe, or rook c1. He wants to play knight e2, definitely.
Yeah, I guess it's a good idea to try to trade off that knight on d4 because it's black's most active piece. But maybe black can go for f5, trying to create some counterplay. Not sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's thinking now. He can take a 92,
Yeah.
but that doesn't look good. Yeah, C1.
Goes rook c1.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. 96, 92. Okay.
Take
So
94 again, but then I can
maybe take an
possibly,
f4 to try to go e5.
yeah, try to
Huh.
go with the b6.
This
Brave
is
move here.
risky. Can't you take on b6 and then go bishop takes d4 and take on c6? He is sacrificing a pawn.
Yeah, a2 is hanging also.
Yeah. So he takes. Now he's gonna take on b6.
He goes to that kind of a3 probably is gonna play here.
Yeah.
Or c6. He just played it. Yeah, it becomes sharp now, I think. b6,
Yeah,
rook
black
a2.
has a lot of compensation though. He has the two bishops. He has this passed d pawn, which could become dangerous later on. So maybe Shigaev is not too unhappy because he was in a passive position earlier on. Let's see what
Yeah, exactly.
I guess rook a1, creating that pin.
Yeah, when you play the King's India, this is just fine. Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Just take a knight c5, rook b8 also.
Trade on
Yeah.
rook b8 because you hit
Or
the
rook
pawn on
b6 is a
b2
threat.
and rook b6. It goes rook b1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's also a move, but the other one looked nice. Yeah. Because now I don't have a nice way to defend the pawn. I guess rook b6 looks awkward. It's possible actually.
But then bishop h6. How isn't your knight just lost?
There is this idea. Huh.
Yeah.
There's a serious threat here.
Yeah, so I think you just have to give up the pawn on b2 and then bishop h6. Bishop h6.
I think you forgot. You forgot.
Oh my god, is this? I think Shigaev is gonna win the tournament. Like, I think this is it.
This is it, I think.
The knight.
Yeah, he clearly forgot about the move. His reaction there. Okay, the bishop is attacked, but probably this is. How do you defend this easily?
There's no real comfortable way to protect the bishop.
Because bishop c6. Apparently it's almost equal now. And it's not anymore. Sweet. There was a move
bishop
there.
Bishop c4, and in case you take an f7.
And that was annoying. Oh, that was strong, yeah.
But now you're just losing the knight, so you just have to.
He tries to play knight 97 check.
But you take an e4, I guess. I think he's just gonna lose a full piece now.
Yeah, there's no trick with rook c1. Yeah, okay. Bishop e4 looks nice. You get a pawn back already. You run away from the 97. Okay, he played there. King g7. Oh, now the bishop is defended.
Yeah,
now it's a clean piece
c1 on the next move. So
I think there are no more tricks.
I think Shigaev's just gonna win this one.
Okay, rook d4. He's trying to create something there, but I mean, there's like he's so active here. There's no serious. But he has 2 pawns for the piece. Yeah, he has some.
Right, but a piece is a lot.
Yeah.
95.
96 now, maybe.
Right, yeah, 96 or maybe rook e8, proving your pieces. He has to move though. He doesn't have a whole lot of time.
96, rook c4.
Not sure.
Bishop a8, okay. The rook is defended.
You should take, and then there's no tricks for Jeffrey.
Okay, now he wants to play some sort of f4. He also has to take on c4. The rook is hanging. But yeah, suddenly he has chances, I guess.
Yeah, you're slightly pushed back here with black.
Oh no, knight c5 is blundering. Yeah.
Oh, but bishop d5. Bishop d5. That's
it. Oh, bishop b6. Blundered.
Oh.
Wow. So Shigaev gets the 1,000 bonus there for the KO win. Impressive. And the 15 points on the Grand Prix.
So yeah, big congrats to Maxim Shigaev. He wins the 3rd Speed Chess Grand Prix of this year. Jeffrey gets 12 points though, so that should be more than enough to qualify him to the main event. So big congrats to him as well. Yeah, definitely. I think that that's a wrap.
Big achievement there. the tournament there had so many tough players since week 1, and he was able to qualify comfortably, like with a week before the event finishes. So don't forget that we have one last Speed Chess Grand Prix. Even though this spot is kind of secured for Jeffrey, there are some big prizes. It's open to all title players. We have this last tournament next Saturday, same time as today, 10 a.m. Pacific. So don't forget to either take part or watch the action on Chess TV. So I guess that's it. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for the commentary. Thank you everyone that joined us this Saturday, and we'll see you next time. Hope you had fun.
Yeah, thanks, Krikor, and thanks everyone who's watching.